Dafatanga, which means it's hot. Greetings, family. Tay looks rough. Yes, I do. And I don't even know if you can hear me because I have the fan on and it is hot, daddy. Hot. It is 88 degrees in my house. And that's because I'm too cheap to cut the air condition on. I'm like, man, it's just May. Ooh, we got like 3 more hot months. June, July, August. There is something in my eye, but welcome back, family. Yes, I do look rough, daddy. But that's because I will be doing my hair on this live. And once I start getting some people in here, then I can ask you, how is the sound? Because I don't know if it sounds like a wind machine. But there is something in my eye. Whew, come on now, I don't have time for this. To the one person that is in here, welcome. And please let me know if it sounds like a wind machine. Because like I said, I have the fan on because it is extremely hot in Arizona. It's been cool for a very, very, very long time. And now it's just like, oh, yes, 88 degrees up in this piece. I don't think the lights help. And plus, I'm just too cheap to cut my hair on yet. Okay. I don't have time for this. Something in my eye. All right. Let's get this party started. This is the first time that I will be doing my hair on a live. I can't say that I'm going to do my hair and I'm going to talk to you all. Where are my clips? I will not say that I will be on here the whole time doing my hair because my hair takes about 4 or 5 hours. I take breaks, leave something in the middle, right? You have to maneuver, right? Because natural hair does take some time. And then the longer it gets, you may be able to put it in a bun, but when you wash it, oh, Lord Jesus, God help us. So can you all hear me? Does it sound like a wind machine? Greetings, family. I have to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, all the while stressing the importance of knowing, loving, and fully accepting who we are and what place we take in this world. So why not do my hair, be vulnerable, let you all see my grays. S-H-I-T, Tay ain't 20, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm in my 20s in front of you all. I am a seasoned 44-year-old and happy to be 44. You see this hair is growing? And I want to say not just, accepting who we are and our place in this world, not just in America or the continental Africans in Africa or the Black African British, but every Black or African person living on this planet that we call Earth. Might as well get comfortable because I'm going to be sitting here for a while. Y'all won't be sitting here for a while, but I will. As a matter of fact, let me set my timer and officially greet the people coming in. Welcome back, my beautiful Black, African, melanated gods and goddesses, small G's. Thank you for joining me. I am Travel with Tay. And like I said, it's going to take me a couple of hours to do this, but hey, Lonnie Renee. But this video will not be long. I would say, okay, so I'm not going to say how long it's going to be because then I get up here and I sound like I'm lying to myself. Like, yeah, I'm just going to be short time. Um, but no, I am trying to create a habit. So let's set this alarm and then we can get to work. Because, I'll sit here and just chit chat with you all for 4 or 5 hours. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'll tell you didn't get anything done. So, all right. Now, mustard seeds. Thank you. All right. So I'm not going to, I don't want to say I don't necessarily want to promote my products, but because of this video, so I might as well. Let's promote some Black owned businesses real quick. All right. So to do my hair, oh, that's better, right? To do my hair, I will be using Purelistic Health and Beauty. I'm just going to show you the edge control so you'll see, because I didn't bring the other conditioner. I purchased Purelistic Health and Beauty conditioners because I do not make a conditioner. I make 3 products for my business. Naturals by Shantae. I make well, this is an old label. This is an old jar, but this just shows how long my product lasts for, right? The shelf life is 12 months, but I have some that's longer than 12 months. And yeah, sorry, it has hair in it, but this is mine, right? It's almost done. I like to keep certain mixtures because these are handmade, right? And then I have another jar of Moisturize Me, Naturals by Shantae. And I always, when I mix, I always make a jar for myself. That way I can test it out, right? So I have all these little jars around the house. Well, not around the house, but in where I keep my hair products to use them. So, like I said, I make a moisturizer, I make a Grow Me oil, and I make my body butter that I do not live without, right? So this one is a conditioner that the owner, Letitia Long, made for me. It does not have a label on it because I am an unofficial ambassador, soon to be an official ambassador. Shout out to Purelistic Health and Beauty. But I am an unofficial ambassador, so she will just give me things to try out, right? So she gave this to me in that video where I went to hike with her for a Friendsgiving. Lord Jesus, no. Right? I think they changed the name from Thanksgiving to Friendsgiving. But anyway, over that holiday in November, I went to visit her and she made a conditioner for me. So her products are I'm not going to say very, but they are concentrated, right? Which means I don't need a whole bunch. So this is how I use her conditioner. Her conditioner and my Moisturize Me on my hair works amazing. So let me just show you this and then I'll show you my hair real quick. So I have a water bottle. I put water in it. I hate Arizona hard water, but Jesus, it makes everything look rough. So I know y'all don't want to hear about this, but I'm going to tell you anyway, right? So I take a water bottle. I take some conditioner. I put it in here. I put some drops of my Grow Me oil. And then I shake them up, right? I spray this, which you all will see me do. And then I put my Moisturize Me in it. And then I twist. All right. So I'm just telling you all what I'm doing because people that come in are going to be like, what the hell is she doing? Yes, I am doing my hair while I'm talking to you all. Okay. So I got that done. Purelistic Health and Beauty. This is her edge control. I will be putting that on my edges when I am done. So about a month ago, you all, the Daily Mail released some footage of all right, let me just put all of this up before I start doing this. Yeah, I'll have it like this. Okay. So about a month ago, Let me give you the exact date. All right, so I don't see it, and I don't feel like hunting for it. But I saw this about a month ago. So about a month ago, the Daily Mail released some footage of a racially charged, vicious attack on a Black British young man. Now, for clarification, I'm going to assume, you all, that this young man was born on the continent and not in the West. Now, let me just clarify and explain why I said that I'm going to assume that he was born on the continent and not in the West. Now, when you're born in America, I can't speak for British, right? But when you are born in America, some of us have a certain fight back in us against racism, right? Let me adjust this because I have the microphone on this side and I need it on the other side. I need all the space that I can get while I'm doing my hair. You see how the conditioner is bringing my hair back to life? My hair looks really dry. I don't know if you all can see it. Not really dry because I just retwisted it the other day, but it kind of looks dry. I took these out. But look at this. Let me see. Can you see? Oh, crap. Look how moisturized it is once I took the twist out, though. So, back to this. Racially charged. I can't do. I really can't do. So, like I said, I'm going to assume that this young man was born on the continent and not in the West. And I say that because when you're born in America, some of us have a certain fight back in us against racism. And I don't know if that makes sense to anyone that's not an American, right? The Americans that are sitting in this live or watching a replay, they will know the replay, then they will understand what I'm saying. We have a certain fight against us against racism, right? So, I'm not saying that there isn't bullying here because we also know that it doesn't just happen in a schoolyard. Sometimes it spills over into these YouTube streets, right? Shrek. So bullying happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. It doesn't just happen, in the schoolyard. But what I'm saying is, I know this video will receive limited ads, and I'm okay with that because certain things must be said. And it's not always about the money. Well, not with me and YouTube because I ain't big like y'all yet. But some of us are quick to put a powdered guest in their place, right? You feel me, in Boca? So let me say this. I'm not going to front and say I'm not mad about this video. I'm not, because I am. And unfortunately, I see blatant racism and discrimination when I visit the Gambia. But some Gambians, I talk to some Gambians and they see it and some don't. And that's just the reality. There's some people here in America that don't see racism. Oh, that's not racism. I guess racism is in them. No, it's not. In their book. I was going to say, I guess racism is in the eye of the beholder, but I guess it's only in their book. In their book. So, I don't know, y'all. What I do know is Stockholm Syndrome works on all human beings all around the world. I know it doesn't matter where they were born. Now, it's funny. I'm trying to do my hair without my mirror. I'm like, girl, this is why you can't see anything. You definitely not gonna be able to see anything in here. Because I see a certain peace that comes when dealing with a continental African. And I don't know, a piece that may brush off as ignorance, right? Of a person. How can I say this? I don't want to say it. Okay, for someone looking on the outside, a piece may come off as, oh, the person is being ignorant. They don't know that that's racism. But we don't know if the person that is pushing out the piece against the racism is they're just trying to keep their peace or they're trying to stay out of trouble, especially if you are on the continent, right? A continental African told me that, they really don't try to have any issues with the Lebanese because the Lebanese will take them to the police. And the Lebanese, I don't know. This is what they told me. This is what a continental African told me. So they try to just keep the peace and don't say anything because they don't want to get in trouble. And if the Lebanese take them to the police, then they don't have any money, right? So then it becomes an issue. So, or and this is just my opinion, right? This is just my opinion and what the conversations that I've had with Gambians. Now, it could also be a piece that may be saying that, where they may be saying in their minds, okay for right now, but when I get a chance, I'm gonna get you back, right? So it could be a piece of different peace comes in different forms for different people. But for whatever reason, who knows? All I'm saying is it seems like I see some continental Africans take too much ish from non-Africans. That's what I'm saying. So you all gonna see me do this, right? Because I'm heavy-handed with the product. So thank God I make my own moisturizer, right? And you will see that my hair is not necessarily even. How can I do this? Right? Because you see one side is shorter than the other. But the one thing I don't do is cross sharing. You know how sometimes with braids, you'll take this and split it? Well, you can do that with extensions. Do not do that with your natural hair. I just twist it, twist it, twist it. Now, my hair has been like this. Now that I should clip. My hair has been like this, I think, for the past month or whatever. I've just been retwisting it. The other night, I was just like, oh, my scalp needs to be clean. So I took Purelistic Health and Beauty's charcoal shampoo bar for the hair and just washed my hair when it was in the twist. Oh, crap. That's what I forgot, y'all. Intermission. I forgot my clips. If I'm going to do my hair, I need every piece. Damn, I almost fell. There we go. Y'all, this is going to be the most ghettoest live, but me no care. As long as I get the story out. I mean, I care that it's going to be a little ghetto, but if I'm doing my hair, how extravagant can you make it, right? And it's live. I can't edit it and be like, oh, y'all see this? And then 5 minutes later, my hair is done. No, this is live, boo. So let me tell you all a story. I may have told you this story. Some of you may have heard it. Some of you may have not. I focus on the ends, right? The ends are the oldest part of your hair. I don't really care if my parts are straight or not. Don't really care. These are just 2-strand twists. So one day I was at Right Choice in the Gambia. It's in the Bruceby area. I don't know if it's Bruceby or Bruford. They're so close together, and I'm not sure where one cuts off and one begins. But I want to say it was Bruceby, but I could have been wrong, right? It's directly opposite a gym, and it's close to where one of the other YouTubers had their guest house. I think it was Diamond's guest house because I stayed in there once. So it was right there at that junction. So I'm in the supermarket and, I'm walking down the aisle in my long Gambian attire. And I don't know if my hair was wrapped up or not. Have no idea. But what I do know is a tubab was pulling one of those. A tubab was heading towards me, and they had a handheld shopping basket. Y'all know how they have those handheld shopping baskets with the wheels on them, right? So she's pulling her basket. She's coming towards me, opposite towards me. And I'm standing to the side to give her room to pass. And she deliberately hits me with the basket. Now, of course, y'all know I'm going to say something. Of course, I'm going to say something. And I said something like, excuse you. And she responded with, oh, I thought you were Gambian. And that's when I let her have it. Because the fact that she felt comfortable doing that, right? She felt comfortable treating a Gambian like that in their own country. But when she heard my accent and she realized that I was an American, she became very apologetic. This made me think about how many times has this woman done this and thought that it was okay? Or how many times anyone from a different country came to the Gambia or come to any country in Africa and do that, or in Mexico for that matter. But we just talking about Africa, right? That's why I said I don't think that this young man, because this is a schoolboy. This is why I say I don't think that he was born in the UK. I could be wrong, right? Because I've never lived there. The people that I have met that are older, they're older. Whether they were born in the UK or not, they are older. So the people that I have met aren't school age. So they have a certain fight in them, right? The younger people is a little different. They're still learning themselves, right? So I've never lived in the UK. I've only lived in the United States. So I can be wrong. Their system is foreign to me, so I can't really speak on it. Now, I will say this to my Black British, African British, whatever you identify yourself as. You see what I just did there, right? Because I don't know your system, I'm not going to speak on it, right? But that doesn't stop some of y'all from speaking on American business like you've lived here. If you never lived in America, you don't know us, you don't really understand us, and you need to stop speaking on our business. Because I know you have enough going on in your own country than to worry about Americans. But I will address that at a later date because I'm seeing a lot of UK people, people that live in Europe got a lot of stuff to say about African Americans, but y'all ninjas haven't even never been here. You don't see us speaking on the UK people and the UK, they're doing this, no, because we don't know your system. But that doesn't stop y'all from speaking on American business. I'll address that at a later date. So I'm gonna show you how some of the Americans handle their handle when I address those videos, because I don't really know what's wrong with people. You see, it looked real dry, but you see how moisturized it looks now? I don't know if y'all can see it. This camera doesn't give it any justice. Yeah, you hear the horse in her kennel? I bring Stella in the house so that way y'all won't have to hear the barking, barking, barking. So the shopping the shopping market incident also made me think of how many times a Gambian man or woman had to endure racism in their country and abroad. So I hear my phone, but I don't see it. There it is. Okay. I'm all discombobulated, y'all. That's because I'm doing my hair. So I can't say everyone, but I know if you live in the West, you have experienced some type of racism, whether you are aware of it or not. Because there is something that's called microaggressions. I think that's what it's called. Let me put this in here as well, you all. I'm going to put this in here just in case someone wants to hop in once I get this video started. Now, this video is so raw, like I said, that I decided to be raw and vulnerable in front of you all. Tay Tay ain't made up. I keep pulling this side because it's the opposite, right? But Tay Tay is not made up. Tay Tay don't have any, well, I don't wear makeup like that anyway, but I wear my lipstick and eyeliner sometimes. But I want it to be raw and vulnerable because this video is so raw and vulnerable. And I want to continue to embrace the beauties of who we are while I talk about this. And when I say the beauties of who we are, I'm talking about something that's always so controversial to others, which is we are not our hair, but everyone is so concerned about it, right? So I deemed it necessary to do my hair, redo my twists while we talk about this horrible, horrible incident that happened a month ago in the UK. People try to act like nothing happens in the UK. Oh, the UK, the America this, America that. America got guns, but just so you all know, I don't know if you know this, but the UK be stab. They like to be stabby, 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 stabby dick. So I think my friend just told me that, Jesus, I think a Tubab unalived a school. Like this is like this situation. Only in this situation, both of these children were schoolboys. They were teenagers, but an adult unalived a young African scholar, right? I'm assuming he was continental African, because most of the time when you see people over in the UK or overseas in Europe, most of the time they are, continental Africans that have made it to the West, or people from the islands that have made it to the West. What was it called? The wind something? I can't remember the word of it. But when many of the island people went to the UK. Windrush, if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all can remind me. But it's wind something. It's how many of the people from the islands ended up in the UK. So let's cue up this video. And then, like I said, the StreamYard link is up. And let me start this so we can just go ahead and talk, because after a while, my hands are going to be so involved in my hair that I'm not going to be able to click on anything. So I put these in to lay my hair down. But for those who remember when I was in the Gambia going to that Nigerian restaurant, I'm at that Nigerian hair salon. There you go, Belle. Windrush generation. Thank you. Y'all remember when my hair was like this short? Remember when Sharan had to cut my hair? Now y'all see why I don't let nobody mess in my hair, do my hair. Even when I went to the Gambia for them to blow dry my hair, I'm like, just give me the damn blow dryer. Just give it to me myself. Because y'all not going to be pulling on my hair like this is a damn wig or weave. This is my hair coming out my head. Ooh, these parts are atrocious. All right, so let's cue up this video. So the video starts off with, as you can see, the tuba pushing up on the African boy. Now, it looks like an adult was walking towards them, but I can't tell if that person was African American or not. But you will hear that there are multiple children in this video. Multiple children. But I guess the boy with the boots, I guess he's the ringleader, right? But this is why I stress the importance of not letting your children know, but telling your children, showing them, right? Taking them not just to museums, reading to them, showing them documentaries where they know who they are so they will not accept behavior like this. They won't do it.
Get on your knees and kiss my shoe. Oh, no. Kiss my shoe. Kiss my shoe. Kiss my shoe.
So you hear them singing, kiss my shoe, kiss my shoe, kiss my shoe. Let me turn this up.
Kiss my shoe. Oh, yeah. Kiss the shoe.
Kiss the shoe.
Right over hand of Marley. Kiss the shoe. Kiss the shoe. Kiss my shoe. Kiss my shoe. Kiss my shoe. You're getting whacked. Kiss it.
Now you see this boy hesitated, right? You see him hesitated because he knew that ish was not, he wasn't supposed to be doing that. You saw him hesitate. So let me just say this. Let me rewind this.
Kiss my shoe. You're getting whacked. Kiss it.
Okay, so now you heard an adult, right? Stop it. Hey, come on, right? You heard him say that. Now, let's just talk about the fact that the boy acquiesced to the African boy. I'm about to say African American. He is not American. The African boy acquiesced to what the Tubab wanted him to do, and he did it, right? I'm sorry. I would have a serious issue with my son if he came home and first of all, he probably not going to come home and tell me no stuff like that, right? But if I see this on, I don't know. You know what some parents used to tell their children? I don't have any children, so y'all can't call DYFS on me. But no, you know what some parents used to tell their children? If someone hit you, you better hit them back. And if you don't, I'm going to beat you when I get home. Now, whether that was right or wrong, I'm just saying that in certain communities, that is what is said. Y'all see me sweating? It's hot and I got this towel wrapped around me. So, but this is how I look when I always do my hair. All this hair, That's why I'm enjoying every section that I'm in. I'm not in a hurry for my hair to be down my back, even though it is broad strap length. I'm not in a hurry because I live in Arizona and I want to live in Africa. And the longer my hair is, woo, the hotter it's going to be. Okay. See how the right side is longer than the left side? So the boy acquiesced to the tuba, right? Y'all better drink y'all water. That's how you lose weight there. And look at what the boy did, right? Because he allowed him to chump him for whatever reason, you know, he's a child. But the Tubob runs after him and starts assaulting him now. Yeah, because it's like, that's what I wanted to do to you at first, but I'm going to disrespect you, right? And emasculate you and tell you to kiss my shoe. And then I'm going to laugh at it. And then now I know I got you because you just kissed my shoe. Now I'm going to beat you. Now, let me just make this a little bit bigger. This says a black boy. Now, this was on TikTok. It says a black boy was taunted and hit by a white teenager who demanded that he kiss his shoe. Now, the statistics is the reason why I have this coverage. It's the statistics. UK schools recorded. Okay, I guess they're saying recorded. We would say reported. But okay, UK schools recorded more than 60,000 racist incidents in the past 5 years. What? I thought the UK was popping and y'all didn't have no crime and you didn't have any crime, and that's a double negative. Y'all didn't have any crime and everything is popping. I'm sorry, I'm looking this way because I'm trying to take my hair up. But that's what some people try to act like. But I know I've seen some things, boy. Like I said, America used the pow pow, but the UK used the stabby stabby. 60,000. Now, people talk about racism. There was a YouTuber that was fighting with R. Kathy, right? Almost 4 years ago. The girl was 26 years old, but she looked like she was 55, right? With that ugly blonde wig. But this person, this YouTuber, try to act like, oh, America this, America that, America this. First of all, heifer, your little light skin, maybe allegedly skin bleaching behind, never even stepped foot on American soil. So what the hell do you know about America? What they show on TV? If we listen to what they show us on TV about continental Africans, we will never go to Africa. Correct? So you sit there and you listen to TV and social media. This is why I said in my other video, for those who remember on MTV, I don't know exactly what the show was, but they were interviewing different celebrities, right? And in the beginning, the celebrity would say, you think you know, but you have no idea. And this is why I say about some UK people that always want to talk about African Americans. You never even been here. So get off our job, my ninja. You have enough things going on in the UK and in your home country than to worry about what is going on in the US of these KKK. We got our own issues. The purpose, the point that I'm making is everyone has their own issues and you don't need to be worried about ours. You can speak on it, but what I'm talking about is the disrespect. That's what I'm talking about. I am reporting this, right? This didn't happen in America. I'm reporting this and I'm trying to do it without any disrespect. but to have disrespect towards the Tubobs that did this, right? And the Tubobs and the people that support this, whether they are Tubobs or Africans. I will hope that there aren't any Africans that are supporting this, but hey, sometimes you never know. You never know. I need to try to take my hands off and unscrew them and turn them a different way. We all know that your hands would be all like this doing your hair, right? For those who do their own hair, that's what will happen. Your hands will be all over your head in a god awful position to try to get the right angle. Jennifer James, I'm gonna get to that. I'm sorry, I was just trying to read it. So, oh, Magic McKnight. Okay, hello. How you doing? I'm gonna bring you in. Just let me fix this twist real quick. Give me 1 second, Magic McKnight. Let me just say something real quick. All right, sorry with the typo, but I'm doing my hair, okay? But that's for you, Magic. All right, can you just answer that real quick? So Jennifer James says, I hate to say this, but now, can our African brothers and sisters see that okay, all right, okay, some others, right, some Tuba people don't like dark-skinned people. This is why I'm doing videos like this, Jennifer, because I think that there needs to be some type of awareness. All right, I'm bringing you in right now. There needs to be some type of awareness that's going on, because this should not have ever happened. Give me 1 second, Magic. I'm just going to finish this video and then we could talk about it, because if not, I'm going to have to go back to this video. So just to let you all know, these boys have been arrested. Three teenage boys have been arrested, and regarding this incident. So they have taken action against the boys, against the teenagers that this has happened to. Okay, so let me pause that. I'm gonna bring you in, Magic.
Hey, how are you? I listened to a lot of your commentary. You are funny, really funny as hell, very informative. But yeah, so what is going on with this? What did they have this little boy do?
They had him, welcome, Magic, my New Yorker. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm Nigerian and West Indian.
Okay, you live in New York. Well, welcome, yes, sister.
Thank you.
So what they did, from what we see, what they did was there were a group of children, at least 3, and I don't know if he was coming to school or going home. They saw him on the street, and the Tuba boy walked up to him and he said to him, "Kiss my shoe. Kiss my shoe." It was like those rain boots. "Kiss my shoe. Kiss my shoe." So they're just chanting, "Kiss my shoe, kiss my shoe." The person recording and the children with him. And the boy goes down, and he knew that he shouldn't have did it, because he hesitated, and he went down and kissed his shoe. And then the Tuba runs after him. Now he wants to beat him, because I've already disrespected you.
Exactly.
You've already kissed my shoe.
So let's go back to the whole thing where we have this Christianity and we have the white Jesus, rampant through Africa. And even in, my family in Nigeria, you go there and you go to their homes and compounds and you see the white Jesus on the wall, and I'm shaking my head. I go to Barbados and see my mom's side of the family, and I'm shaking my head. So I'm the only one I'm in the room, me and my sisters, and we're looking like, we understand the programming, generational, but we're the first ones to, in America, We are, my generation of my sisters, we are American citizens, and
Okay.
we have a lot of knowledge that unfortunately a lot of our family members didn't have a chance to be educated. So now everything is coming out. Russia's bringing out the real black Jesus from the tombs, and we all knew this from day one when you read the Bible. But the Bible has been miscrewed. It's been parts, so many things have been taken out of it. And when you look right now in real time in the future, we're like, why are you people still asleep?
Correct.
Why are you still asleep?
Correct.
I see videos every time Christmas comes around, even up to last year. They are Africans out there crying, and all these African nations, and they are crying. They have this white Jesus ceramic on the floor in a church, and they're crying to it. They're doing this in Brazil. They're doing it all over. This. It has to stop.
It does. You know, I'm happy you said this because growing up in America, most African Americans have seen this same picture. It was three pictures in the community, in the household, in the grandparents' household. The white Jesus, John F. Kennedy, and
Yeah,
Martin Luther
and
King.
Martin Luther King.
Right? So
Yes.
as we get older, we like, hold on. Because I grew up in church. Since I was 7, I was being taken to church, right?
I did as
7
well.
years old. And as I gotten older and was looking for this happiness that's in the church, I'm like, wait, hold up. Who is this dude? Because per the Bible, hair like wool. Perfect, right? I'm doing my hair. Hair like wool. You
Yes.
feel this, it's going to feel like wool. Skin
Yes.
like bronze. That's probably a little bit darker than me, right? Okay. I mean, fiery red eyes. How many continental Africans do you see with the fire? Even if they're not drinking, though, right? You
You're
ever
right.
see
Red eyes.
just red eyes? So we know that they were African.
Yes,
So
we do.
you're right. This is why they say you're gonna go to church in the Gambia. If I don't see a wall to a floor to wall picture painting of a white Jesus, right?
Yes.
I grew up in church. Yes, I will go to church. I take what I need, and what I don't need, I leave it to the side, right? But I don't understand on people's WhatsApp. So let's talk about this, Magic. You are an American citizen, so you are first generation
Yeah.
Nigerian American.
Nigerian and West Indian. My mom is from Barbados. My dad's from Nigeria.
Nigerian West Indian
Yeah. Yes.
American. I know that's
Yes.
right. I know who I am. You ain't calling me black.
Nope.
So, with that being said, do you feel that because you were born in this system, you see more than your continental and West Indian or West Indies
West
family?
Indian. West Indian.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because they're living in the West Indies.
correct.
In Barbados. Yeah.
So do you think that it's the fact that you were born in America in this system that you see more, experience more?
Yes, I feel that.
From you. Mm-hmm.
So see, I was born here, and then for a few years when we were younger, my mom was trying to get herself established after the divorce of my dad at a young age. So we moved to Barbados, and we were raised there for a few years, and we went to school there with my aunt. And then when my mom got established, we came back to New York. And when I got here in this system, in the school system, it was a shock to my system because everything seemed so distant. Everything seemed just so, it wasn't like a family. It just was like I went from, like they said, a village, it takes a village, where I was, basically groomed in Barbados. We had a village. We had the outdoors. We were running around, climbing on trees, grabbing fruits, going to the beach. We came to the concrete jungle.
Like Africa, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And I knew it was a whole different system. The teachers were so distant. They were so cruel and so mean. And so I couldn't put all these feelings together where I could not connect. And kids were fighting, and we were just being let like it's just sheep, in different rooms. And now you have to go in this room. And I felt isolated and I couldn't focus. And then they said, well, maybe she has issues. Maybe they were pushing this. My teachers at the time, they were saying that there was something wrong, but no, I was highly intelligent. I was You know, I was always the performer in my family, so I could not sit in these tiny spaces when I was actually raised in my first early years in life in an open space. So this all was new to me. I didn't know how to express this to my mom. She had to get to work. So it was just all these things going on. And what I look back now and I see everything that happened, it's like I'm looking back into the past, and I'm in the future. It was a setup from day one. These institutions, the school, the education, everything was set up and programmed from school to prison to pipeline. They would have these social workers go into these schools, and the gifted kids, they would pick them out and try to alienate them and put falsified and say there's something wrong with them, and try to get them into these on Ward's Island at the time in New York. It was Ward's Island, and they had them highly medicated. They would go around to women that had their children in poverty, and they would give them incentives and say, you know what, we'll give you this amount of money if we can, you know, take them to these hospitals or to these programs, and we could just
experiment on them.
Yes, that was happening. They were taking them to Bellevue. They were taking them to Ward's Island. But they were going, these white women were going, these social workers were going into these schools, into these public schools to get these gifted kids to put them on drugs. And it happened to a few people that I knew, even to the point this person that I know made the news headlines recently.
Wait, I want to hear about that. But please, for people that are not New Yorkers, what is Bellevue?
Bellevue is, well, I could say it's a dimensional hospital. It's known for psychiatric evaluations, psychiatric episodes, people that you can literally, a clinician could say this person is clinically or basically non-functional, or they are a threat to society, and they could sign you off. And that is the hardest one to get out of, because once they sign on that paper, their diagnosis of you, and they put those CPT codes in, you could be gone, disappear, and never to be seen or heard from again. They also could trap you away when you go into these institutions. If you're locked up, you know, they pick up a female or a male and she lock you up, and they get you diagnosed from someone that comes in to visit you from the wards from Bellevue. They could write up a faulty diagnosis, and then you're never coming home, and you're sent to the med clinic in that institution, and you are gone, and nobody, you're a ghost. So they were doing this back when I was young as a child. And I remember this woman, she came into my class and she says, well, we're just going to meet for just a few minutes. I just have a few questions for you. And I was like, well, where's my mom? Like, something felt weird about it.
Your mother.
Yeah. And I said, where's my mom? And she was like, it's okay. It's going to be for a few minutes, and I'm going to bring you back to class. And I was like, okay. And when I got into this room, she pulled out these pictures. And she was asking me, it was like in black print on a white like cardboard. And she was asking me, what does this look like to you? And I said, it looks like a butterfly. And she was like, does it really look like a butterfly? And I was like, yes. But she was trying to coerce me to get into a conversation so that she could diagnose. But I was very high intelligence since I was a child. So I just knew, I felt like something was scary and eerie about the situation. So when I went home, I told my mom about it. So my mom came into school. And she said, what white woman came to my daughter and asked her about these pictures? And why, when my daughter told her it was a butterfly, she told her something different. Come to find out, that was a psychiatrist. They were trying to get me from day one because I was excelling in my sciences. I was getting 90s, 100s. I was dissecting frogs. And my science teacher at the time was African-American. Back when I was younger, there were a lot of African-American teachers in the school. So they were coming in, these white women, and trying to dissect the future scientists, the future historians, the future people that were going to change the planet, because they knew it from day one. They know they pinpoint us from our DNA. When we are delivered, that's why they take our mother's placenta, because they know who is who and they go after you. So these are like the shadow people in the government, and they follow you from behind the scenes. I mean, it may sound crazy to people, but
no.
Watching you from day one.
It's not. Can I just say something real quick? Because I'm loving your flow. When you say that they know who you are, for the people that are descendants of the slaves, let's think about who they took. Right? Did they take the weak and the sick and the disabled?
No.
They took the strongest of the strong, right?
The
And I
builder.
love that you are here, sister. This is what I'm talking about. You were born here, but your roots are, from the West Indies and from Nigeria, right? But
Igbo, the original Jews.
see, but we
That's a
can
whole nother
still
topic.
connect. We could still connect. I love that you hopped on. Now, I just wanted to say that they're not taking the week of the week. So yet you think that they're not following people's DNA and knowing who people are, and they do, because I was going to school for special education, and they tried it in the books. It's like gifted in special education. If you are not knowledgeable and willing to really be a proper teacher and look at yes, it's hard. All these children that are in one class, but the child that excels in math and science and they're doing horrible and everything else, focus on that, right? Because they're gifted, but we're taught to look at gifted children. Oh, it's something wrong with them. No, you're just mad because they're smarter than you. Go ahead, you have the floor.
Okay, before my phone shuts down, I got to plug this back in. Give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem. But you all see what she was talking about, the pipeline, the prison to pipeline. Dr. Umar speaks about that. There's so many, there are so many wars on us, but definitely on our children. Why? I got you. If I could I can change a generation if I get the children. Now we know that they're not supposed to be talking to a child, behind the scenes without a parent. No. But I wonder, did Magic Midnight see, is it because of the background that she had when she was in school in Barbados, right? That family structure. You hear how she talked about when she was in school, it was like, it was foreign. Like the teachers don't care, especially if they're not African. We know that, y'all. Okay, I lost her. She'll be back. We know that, y'all, right? For the ones that are not African, I saw it myself when I was going to school to be a preschool teacher, early childhood education. And I was volunteering for my hours at a preschool. And I saw how these two balls were treating the biracial children and the Mexican children. Oh, they're in their problems. They're this. Oh, thank God you're here because they've been ASS holes. I looked at her. Now, mind you, this chick is straight up trailer trash. You hear me? And she is sitting here judging a child. This is why, God rest my uncle's soul, but I feel like this is why my uncle always would speak about integration was the worst thing for us. I hear a lot of older people say that integration was the worst thing for us. Now, we can say, oh, it was good, it was bad, it was indifferent, blah, blah, blah. But one thing I will say is we need more of our own, not just teaching our children, but being doctors, lawyers. But we got to stop pushing them to be damn athletes, y'all. For real, for real. We need some educational people. Everybody can't be a damn athlete. Right? And then I don't know what type of paperwork or whatever they got to sign to be this athlete. You got to have the light skin with the long straight hair woman. Cat Williams talked about it. He could go to Club Shay Shay and see that video. He could tell you better than I can. But this is why we need children from all careers. I'm not saying that the way I want it to come out in my mind. But we need lawyers, doctors, engineers, business owners, no matter what the business is. We need more of the children need to see more of us in these positions. And don't get me wrong. Let me just clarify this, because I know some bomb ASS African American people that are doing some amazing things, right? They're mentoring, but they're not social media people. They've been doing this for decades, but they're not social media people. Now, how does the young people equate that? Oh, they equate your success by your damn followers, right? There's people that got hundreds of millions of dollars and don't have a lot of followers. So in some of these young people's minds, oh, you're nobody because you don't have any followers. If you are, shout out to the people that realize and know that they're role models without even knowing it. Just know that there's always a child or someone's child, whether it's in the neighborhood. There is someone that is always, even if it's not a child, there's some adults that look up to other adults, right? It's crazy, right? and you can't say, oh, that's not my role model. You hear plenty of adults say that celebrities are their role models. So why can't a regular person that's doing great things, be my role model? And I'm an adult, right? We need to see, we know that representation matters. Can y'all see this? Let me pull it out this way. You see? That's the back of my hair. They think we don't have any hair either, right? But we have to know and recognize that representation matters. Why do you think, okay, so these twists are in the way. Why do you think that these people made such a big deal about Ariel, the Little Mermaid? Oh, she can't be black. Oh, freaking black mermaid, and the mermaid is white, right? Look at this. There we go. So why? Why did they make such a big deal about a white mermaid? Why do they make such a big deal about a white Jesus? If it doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, then why change it? And I'm talking about Jesus, not the mermaid. The mermaid was, if the cartoon doesn't matter, then why make a big deal about it that someone else, that a little black, first of all, it's a damn cartoon character. But why make a big deal about the color of the mermaid? Because we know that representation matters. All right, Miss Magic is back. There you go, sister.
I don't know what happened. My phone just cut off. It's like, okay, I know what's going on out here in the universe. You don't want it to get out, but it's going to get out.
Okay. And that happens too. But look, They're quick to say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, look, I know that certain things that are in my family, there's a certain surname, and they're like, hold up, they're going to watch them. I know my phone is tapped.
Mine is too. I hear them all the time listening in.
And it's okay because I don't do anything illegal. But this is what people don't realize when when I go back and forth to the Gambia, the conversations that I have, people are saying to me, oh, no, the government loves you. And I'm like, how are you going to tell me about, how can you tell me about my country that I was born in? This is the system that I know inside and out, and still don't know everything, but I know how to move around here better than any continental African. I was born here. But the fact that some people tell me, I'm like, all right, okay. Yep, you know better than me. I'm not going to argue with stupid. I ain't got time. I might need that breath on my deathbed. I don't have time. So go ahead. I want to finish hearing your story.
So, as I started to get older, I started to notice the microaggressions. I started to notice the underlying, when I started to find, like, why did I start to feel uncomfortable in spaces? And when I got to high school at that time, I remember a professor pulling out a magazine and saying, this is good here. And it was like a European here, and she pulled out one and it had Spanish women on it. So all of the Black, African American women, we were looking at each other, kids in school, like, so do we have that here? But I was like confused because I love my hair.
What does that do to a child, right? What does that do to a child? Make us look at our beauty and base our standards of beauty on Europeans, and we're not Europeans or Latinos.
Exactly. And then that made the Latino girls in my class feel that they were better than us on the spot. So then they would try to bully us. And I had to like really go Hercules one day, like in the morning, like, and really show her like, ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm not afraid of you, but you're gonna get this business one on one. And
Mm-hmm.
she never messed with me ever again.
Mm-mm.
Ever again. Because I
And
had to
who's the
show her
guy? The teacher. The
what we
teacher.
learned how to do in the hood. Okay. So that was another experience. So then teachers would try to divide the students and pit them against each other. They would bring up the light. They would always motivate the light skinned ones, bring them to the front of the class, allow them. Everybody hand is up, but the only people that are allowed to speak are the lighter ones, the white ones, the Spanish ones, the black ones. They really went to you. They really did. So my thing is like I said, I was coming from an environment where we were all together. We were all considered like, number one, there was no division, even though we had people of all colors in Barbados. There was no division. So I noticed that right away that I was being isolated and why. And as I gotten older, I started to look at everything that happened to people that I was in grade school with, people that didn't make it to junior high school, people that didn't make it to high school, and their families got caught up in the system. You know, the Central Park Five that happened to. I know them. It's another one. I don't want to mention his name because it's a serious situation right now, but it's really huge. He was a victim of that as well, because the teachers back then used to hit us. They used to hit us in class with rulers. Yeah, they used to hit us. They used to have like 4 or 5 rulers with rubber bands, and they will hit us. They will go around the class and hit us randomly. There was a teacher I had, I will never forget. His name was Mr. Lipstick, and that was in my 5th grade class. He would go around and he would just take his knuckles and just like punch you in the head. And I mean, people would be crying. They would like, he would bend their arms, twist them.
Oh my God.
Yes, they were doing this in my school, Hans Christian Andersen, PS 144, located on 122nd between Lenox and 7th. This is what they did.
Is that a public school? Is that a public school?
Yes.
PS?
Yes. And this one kid, they kept targeting him. I mean, he came from his parents were both deaf, and he didn't have the best of clothes, and kids would tease him, and he would get into fights and rumbles, and the teacher would always hit him. And at one point, he didn't want to get hit that day, so he ran out of the school. He ran down the hall. Up on his floor, he grabbed the fire extinguisher and he like trying to protect himself from the teacher coming after him. He sprayed the teacher. They took him to a hospital, Bellevue, and they put him on lithium, all kinds of medications, and had him drugged. Then they sent him off to a facility upstate, and the psychiatrist raped him. People raped him there, and then after that, he ran away, and he was in the streets until he started selling drugs, in and out of jail, and now he recently got, unfortunately, locked up again. This was like 2 months ago for something that they said he did, which we don't know. That's something, it's out of this world, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And he was a victim as a child to the system. That they tried to get me. Remember, I told you they tried to get me with that, but unfortunately, they got him.
And when there are parents that don't know, right?
His parents are deaf. They're deaf. They sign language. They don't
know. They don't. And then this is why, the advocates, right? People always say, Tay, you too nice, but how can I see this happen to people that look like me when I know that this system is designed to keep us down? Prison, death.
That's it. And everything else in between is to lead you to do certain behaviors so that you cannot make it. It's almost like an artificial design that's set up. It's like, if you want to say they designed this and they said, we're going to do this to them, they're going to react like this. We're going to open up these clubs. We're going to talk about materialism. It's going to lead them this way. Where each and every corner you turn, it's a trap. It's a trap.
It is.
But if you step out of that zone or that in demographic where you live, it's something totally different. It's like you could go one part in Brooklyn and it says Flatbush, or it says Park Slope, but there's two different park slopes. There's one for the poor and there's one
And then
for the
there's one
wealthy.
for the rich.
And you can go to a park in Brooklyn where it's literally like La La Land that I've never seen in my life until recently, 2 years ago, and I never knew existed.
I was just talking to someone about that, where there are communities where if they don't want to deal with us, they don't have to deal with us.
No,
right?
You will never know about it because it's hidden, because it's redlining. They designed it this way. We don't know about it. They don't advertise it. It's not advertised on real estate. So all we know is the information they give us. If it wasn't for social media and the internet, it's a lot of things we still wouldn't know. We'd be in the dark. There's a lot of people coming out now confessing and saying things that we're able to connect the dots. But I see what happened to my friend, my dear friend, and not only him, countless of African-American males as children were victims to the system that was designed to put us back into slavery.
That's why, and I'm getting emotional because, being a teacher, I see it. Mm-hmm. I see it. And, growing up, people want to say, oh, that is just, that's a conspiracy theorist, that you're a conspiracy theorist, that didn't happen. But just like they said about syphilis, right? With the Tuskegee experiment, right? Exactly. We know this, but we don't have the platform, and we don't have the platform to get the word out to everyone. We don't have a news network. The news is not covering this. Right? No, it's not. People say, why do you don't watch the news? Because they only want to show me what they want to show me. I'd rather go to the internet and get the real news. Mm-hmm. Right? Let me see a video for myself. Not this person telling me is this, that, and that. When I'm looking and I'm like, that's not true. That's not
Quick question. Do you remember UNICEF?
Yes.
Okay. I remember them bringing them around these little boxes, telling us we had to fill it up with coins and bring it to them. Why do we have to do that? You know why? Because of their propaganda, and they were showing news reports and showing things, their social media, saying that Africa was poor, and all they would show is these commercials with these kids with flies on them, and they had UNICEF connected to the Red Cross.
I'm happy you said that, because I did talk about that in the beginning of this video, right? Because if we listen to, I'm happy you said that, sister. If we listen to or if we believe what we saw on TV about everyone in Africa, everybody poor, they got extended stomachs, flies. First of all, yes, the flies do attack you, right? They're not straight attacking you if you don't have food around you. So I'm like, what the hell did they spray these children with when the flies just sitting on them? Was it sugar water?
Exactly. It had to be something that was attracting the flies to go on them and stick. And then you have a lot of them that are flying out from their European countries, and they're taking post-ops, like these pictures, like op pictures, and they're putting together these campaigns so that they could get the money. And now they're rich and they fly out and they do nothing for the African communities.
Nothing. And that's
it's just a prop. It's a prop. It's a prop.
Because when I started the foundation, thanks to my YouTube subscribers, and they donated and things like that, right? She asking for donations. It's always when we try to do something for each other that our own people come out and got so much to say.
Amen.
Where were they with the UNICEF, right? Because I do remember UNICEF. They got these. They always have these little coins, these little at the gas station.
It was an orange box.
I'm not giving anything to anyone.
It was a little orange box, and then and the top of it had like a little slit in it where you could put the coins in. They had the kids going around getting all this money, and then you had to bring it into the school. So where was that money going when I was a child? Because it definitely wasn't going to Africa. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, they were putting these movies together talking about Tarzan, but they were going on vacation in Africa and telling African Americans or people that live in here, don't go there.
Don't go. They told me. And when I studied abroad 12 years ago in Namibia, Africa, do you know how many people told me, including church people? People in my church, why are you going to Africa? I said, what? Why you don't want to go to Africa? You do know you African, right? I'm black. I said, where's the black? The ignorance. But when I got there, I'm like, I'm happy I had Facebook then. And I'm happy that I did share as much as I do share on Facebook. Excuse me. Because people couldn't believe it. They were like, I said, I'm home. I literally got off the plane, as soon as I got out the airport,
You
I
felt it.
fell to my
You felt the
knees
spirit.
and I cried.
Yes.
Because I know how it is for continental Africans that want to come to America. I
Yeah.
know that, right?
Yeah.
I don't care all the stuff that's happened to me in the Gambia. Guess what? I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to keep going. Because the thing is we can't run away from adversities. We deal with nothing but adversities here. But this is an adversity. The issue I'm going through in the Gambia, it needs to be seen. I still love the Gambia and went through all this because I love my people. But we have to effing change.
Yeah.
The ones that don't want to change, we leave them by the wayside. But
Yep.
the people that are like-minded, we have to. It's like daddy little girls. The neighborhood has to take the neighbor. We can't wait for the government. We can't wait for we can't wait for white Jesus, y'all.
No.
The Bible says faith without works is dead. DS says we can't build if we don't support each other. And honestly, in America, yes, you're so right. In America, things are just so individualized. So we could do it on our own. But we're seeing that us going back to Africa collectively, we have to stick together. Because even, I guarantee you, let me ask you this. When you go to Africa, how do they treat you, sister? I already know. They're like, she got a money tree. Where's her money tree?
Well, I would say they know, because the dialect comes out. The dialect comes out. So when they want to play this woo-woo game, they know I'm not the one to play with. My sister, my middle sister, she's very sensitive, so they get her. They get her every time. But me, I don't play that.
Correct.
So they don't even, they try to attempt. They tell me these stories, and I say, go with God. Because you know what?
I got a new saying.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Because I can't do nothing for you that you can't do for yourself. It takes one hand to wash and two hands to wash the face. Like, don't come with me with that. If you want to go to her, and I told my sister, better stop with that, because they done raked her out. They done drained her bank accounts, not mine. Because you know what? First of all, I'm not eating from nobody. No, I don't want nothing to drink. I don't want nothing to eat. I'm good. And I'm not staying with nobody, and I'm staying in the hotel. Okay? Yeah. You're not getting my hair. You're not getting my comb. You're not getting my clothes. I'm not playing that, because I know what's been going on since. No, it's not.
The sister is dropping gems, y'all. Right? Y'all know when we do
I know.
What happens to this? Oh, we burning this baby. Right? And I mean, we didn't even know. I didn't grow up in the islands, but I knew that.
And honestly, I could just tell you off the rip. They say I'm not African.
I know, because you
So
were born
I'm like,
here.
okay, well, I look just like my father, but I'm not African. Okay, well, no problem. That's more money for me. And y'all keep y'all distance. We just get together for funerals. That's what we're gonna do from a distance. I'll watch it on a program. I'll watch it as
sad, right? It's so sad because like nobody. Okay, if we are of African descent, no one can tell us you ain't African. Who are you to tell us anything? Now, sometimes if I want to be disrespectful, I ain't gonna lie. It depends on how they come at me. You ain't African. You black. There's no black country. Blah, blah, blah. So they keep coming at me. By that time, I'll be like, you don't own Africa, my nigga. You don't even own the compound you live in. So please don't tell me what I that I own and I don't own and I have rights to. It's my birthright. But this is what the two Bobs has done to us, right? This is what the fact that there are people, Nigerians in Gambia. We don't like Nigerians.
Yep.
Why? Right? It's all continental Africans. Who put the borders there? Two Bobs.
Exactly. The colonizers. And you still, to this day, they're still following that. And here's another thing why I question. It's okay to say, yeah, we want to go back home. We want to go to the motherland. But if that is our original motherland to some people, like African-American people, that, I mean, I would say I'm taking myself out the picture because, like I said, my mom is from Barbados, my dad's from Nigeria, so I have more of a connection of where they're from, and I can follow that down. But what I'm saying is, for the African-Americans that go there and they say this is home, why do they put them through those jumps, those loops and holes. You have to pay for this. You have to pay for that. It should be free. They should be giving people a startup home. They should be allowing you to have the visas free, not pay all these fees. You should just be welcomed back with open arms, with nothing to pay out of your pockets because your ancestors were taken or sold by them. Why is that not happening? And why do we still have borders? And why do you have to get different visas from traveling through Africa? Just from going to one to another place. It makes no sense.
It doesn't. And you know,
it's like a money grab. It's a money grab. It's propaganda, and it's a money grab.
It is, and that's why. And it's only a few people in the Gambia that have been honest with me about what they have been told growing up about African Americans. Now, I do agree. I agree more with the visas, right? Or like how the Gambia then went up double for the residential ID cards. Now, okay, but the Tubobs and the Chinese and the Lebanese have been coming since how long? I mean, so much so that they say that they're Gambian. Their grandparents were born in the Gambia, and we look like you, and this, that, and the third. I'm not saying that Africa should give us free this, free that, because it's Africa, right? They have resources, but like a lot of African Americans, we don't know what to do with our damn money, right? We got the most spending power, but we don't own you fill in the blank, right?
Yeah, because a lot of these companies lock, our people out of the market, especially the hair care industry. The Chinese took that over and locked us out, but then you have the Chinese in Africa that opened up a whole grocery store and said Nigerians are not allowed inside. And all they have in it, a majority, is Chinese products, not even for Nigerians.
Hold up.
The majority of their food
in Nigeria that says Nigerians are not. Well, you know what?
Yes, a grocery store. It went viral.
I'm surprised that Nigerians.
A whole supermarket, huge, but they said that they shut it down. They shut it down, closed it down.
They better, because I think the sooner or later it was going to get burned down, like that Chinese place in the Gambia that they burned down, right?
Well, it was a hotel in Jamaica that they burnt down because they said the Jamaicans are not allowed, and the Jamaicans are not even allowed now to go on their own beaches.
Because it's the resorts. You see what?
Yes, and they're buying the land. They're putting property there, and they're saying that they can't even. The fishermen can't even go there to fish. They're doing this in Puerto Rico, so they're going there and locking down the Caribbean.
Just like that, I can't. Well. Let's say this. Let's go it a little bit further. Walaikum salam des. Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Desmond is taking my wall off. He's taking my wall off class. So I wanted to address him. Jennifer, I'm going to put this up. I'm going to address this in 1 second. Oh my God. I can't. You are blowing my mind, Magic.
I know I am, and I'm going to keep doing it.
I'm like, wait. So, did you know that in Senegambia, right? When you go into Senegambia, if you're going down, and this is not even a beach. This is where the restaurants are. Miss L teaches her water class back there. There are hotels and stuff and restaurants and the what is it called? The spa. They got a Nigerian spa. I'm going to get that.
I gotta go there because I love spa. I do spa.
Whole body. You feel like a brand new baby. I'm going to get that.
Yeah,
I'm going to get that. But when you pull in, there is police that are right there at the junction. We call it at the intersection. There are police right there. Now, why are the police there? It's because they're trying to keep the locals out. So I believe what you're saying about, but then it's like, but this is what makes me mad with the people that are in charge that look like us. You have the mother effing opportunity to make all the changes that you wanted when you were a child. I mean, how do us think about when we were a child and we're like, oh, if I was the president, I'll change this, I'll change that. You are the president and the country is going to SHIT. Even worse.
They're puppets.
Very true.
The powers that be put them in power. They're puppets. They're not for the people. They're for the powers that be.
And it's so sad how we can be bought. Some of us can be bought, right? It's like the people that win the lottery. You like, the crackhead won the lottery? Man, the drug dealer gonna be rich, right? I've been working 35 million years, right?
You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
So Jennifer James says, so true, but some Africans hate African Americans. I work with them and I don't understand.
Yeah, they do. They call them Akata. In Nigeria, they call them African Americans Akata.
So
like
I'm
stray dogs
gonna
and
let
cats.
you tell us why, right? I have my own opinion as to why. But what
Mhm.
is your opinion as to why? Because there shouldn't be this hate. I know what people are told at immigration, right? I know that
Yeah,
people
they're
may not
told
want to
to
have
stay
the
away from them, to stay away from the African Americans, and they do. When they come to New York City, the Africans do not associate with the African Americans because they're told, what through the immigration process to stay away from them because they're robbers, thieves, and stuff like that. And they showed them, they programmed them prior to giving them their green card, and
and
they
if you
have a
want that
fear
green
that
card,
if
you're
they
gonna believe whatever
associate
they say,
Yeah, and they
right?
fear that if they do associate with African Americans, they can have a chance of losing it and going back and losing everything. And they give them these business loans. They allow them to open up their businesses, and they refuse to associate. They go to their mosque and they refuse to associate with African
With
Americans.
very low interest rates, right? And they're
Yeah,
like, why African Americans don't do this? Well, if you come to this country, you might live better than us. Just like when we go somewhere else, we live better than the people living there.
yeah.
But and it's true. It is so true. And I'm like, why are we judging each other? Now, for me, I do see the judgment. I do see that. But because I've been to the continent multiple times, I use that as a icebreaker,
Hmm.
right? And they're like, and then once the continental Africans start talking to me, they're like, you sure you were born here? They literally say that to me. You sure you were born here? Because you got continental African traits and characteristics. I was like, no, I was born here. But I feel like sometimes our brothers and sisters come here and they look at us like the two Bobs look at us. And I'm like, hold up. Wait a minute. Who fought for civil rights? Yes, it was some two Bobs, but we were fighting for everyone. So to come here and judge the people that basically pulled out the red carpet for your ass to get here, that's not right
Yep.
there. You know what I mean? Like, and then to come and judge someone that looks like you think that the two Bobs are gonna take you? The two Bobs will talk to you, but they look at you as another slave as well, boo. Because most of the
Hmm.
time, continental Africans are more subservient than we are.
Yeah, and
They not
let's talk
going.
about the boomerang effect. Because right now there's an influx of all the immigrants coming here from Venezuela and all their countries that collapsed their dollar. Okay, so America allowed they basically forced these countries to collapse their dollar, and I knew it was a matter of time because it started like maybe 5, 6 years ago. Venezuela's going under. There are people out there eating like dogs and cats. Their money is nothing. So now these people, they are here now. They're crossing the border illegally. It's an influence. I kid you not. The other morning I
I
got on
know.
the train, didn't know if I was paying attention or not, but I sat down in the corner. I closed my eyes for a quick second, drank a little bit of my tea. When I opened my eyes, I looked to the left. It was nothing but Venezuelan immigrants in that car, only men. I was counting down to that train opened up, and I jumped up and ran in another car. It was only men. It was only men, refugees. I don't know how they got on there, where they came from, but that is serious. What they're doing now,
You're
they're
right.
robbing, they're stealing, they are aping, they're doing a lot of things. They're running in stores. They have guns. It's all, right now, New York City. It looks. If I step out, at times I don't know if I'm in Senegal. I don't know if I'm in Africa or if I'm in Colombia because everything shifts. So now they put the Africans in the back and they put the Spanish people to the front. They're giving them hotels to stay in. They're giving them homes to stay in. They're breaking into people's homes. They're out here going crazy in New York. They're giving them money. Mayor Adams said, oh, we're going to give them credit cards. So now they put them over all, not only African American people, but they told the Black Africans, now you got to get in the back. And they're not giving them nothing. So now the Africans are downtown protesting, saying that they're treating the Spanish people better than them. See that?
I can't. Boy, they want us to
Yeah.
jump in this rat
That's
race. Now they seeing
the
what's up.
boomerang. There you go. It's called karma. They
Wow.
thought they were better than the African Americans. Now they're all the way in the back. And the African Americans are still fighting. And
And
they're not listening to them.
no. But the great thing about the African Americans, a lot of African Americans are saying, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to go
Yep.
ahead and go to Africa. Because guess what? even if we're not accepted or wanted there, African Americans, we're not accepted and wanted a lot of places. Does that stop us? Nope. We like, whatever. All right, we got the money to do what we're gonna do. We just do what we want to do. And that's what we have to do when we go to certain places in Africa, because shoot, if they treat their own people that way, then a foreigner that don't speak the language, we don't have a chance. And it's not everyone, please, continental Africans. It's not everyone. If the shoe doesn't fit, then put it back. But if that shoe fit, then wear that mother effer and we talking to you, okay? But if the shoe doesn't fit, we're not talking about everyone, because some people are welcoming and they understand, like, look, that's two bobs. The colonizers did that. We're going to fight against that. But then there's some people that have weak minds that are just like, I believe the two bob. I love the two bob. The two bob is God. We know that that's not true. We know that that's not true. So Jennifer James, it's systematic. It's taught. It's different reasons. People if they're coming from a third world country and they are being threatened, hey, you deal with these people. Now, we know that that's not true. We know the government doesn't work that hard. If the government is not locking up Art Cathy and Kwesi Boyd for everything they have done, we know.
They almost got me. I kid you not. They almost got me. But you know, when I started to just back up a little bit, when I saw the invoice about how they wanted to do this spending for this seafood type of restaurant they were talking about on a beach, and she woke up to like a cat with polka dots, and she's like, oh, look what I woke up to. And then she was talking to when she was in the Gambia, and I saw from way back then, and then when I saw the invoice and you put in this money and we're gonna flip it and do this, I looked at the invoice with the beach. They were talking about doing like something like a restaurant, seafood something on the beach, and I remember looking at that saying, who did this? Like, nah, I'm not. It just seemed a little bit.
It did seem very illiterate.
Yeah,
and what I did was, I'm like, you know what? Some Black-owned businesses, maybe they don't have this, maybe don't. And I gave my people a pass when I shouldn't. I know,
right? But you know, I almost fell for it. I promise you, because I remember my husband was looking at me and I was watching all of it. He was like, "You sure you want to do that? Because if anything, we could go to DR." And I'm like, "What?" Because he's Dominican. But anywho, I was just like, the catch was so persuasive. It really was. Like, it could have happened to me. It could have. It could have happened to anyone.
It is happening to everyone it's happening to so many people that over the continent, right? And that's why I don't get offended when people say, oh, she didn't know. Look, I don't have the career that everyone else has, but there are some people that are lawyers, doctors, have PhDs, and military people, and they got screwed. It's not about the business idea. We know that Americans are going to the Gambia in droves, right? Yep. They're looking for places. We are looking for places. So is Tay going to try to accommodate you all? Absolutely. Why wouldn't
I? Also, I almost fell for Blacksit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She almost got me. She almost got me big time. And I don't know if it was the accent or her storyline or whatever. But then when I started to hear the people from the UK and their stories and what she did, and how I was hearing everybody, they did like a live blog, and they had like a lot of people. And it was this guy. I remember listening to this man, and he said that how he went out there. And she said to meet him one place, and then he was there, and then she ended up somewhere. She was like, my driver. And he was like, where is my money? And then another woman was saying her experience, and she said that she was like giving her the runaround. And even though she was over there, everything was it was lies. And she never met with these people. And she was talking about these plots and talking about this person, but she almost got me too. Because everybody wanted to get out of America at that time, post-COVID, and during that session. That everybody wanted to get out, because it's like, oh, if the government is going to lock us down like this, we got to get out. We got to, it's like, get out of here.
Yeah. And imagine 50 people paying. And I don't know, because one person paid $400 for each plot. And then for someone else that went with the woman, right, told me that they went and paid. Oh, okay. They paid, I think they bought 3 plots. They paid $1,200. No. They were charged double or almost triple the amount for 1 plot of land. When the other person was charged, but I think the other person was from the UK. They were
Yeah,
charged
a lot was from the UK.
$400. Blacks had charged one person for 1 plot of land, 400. Didn't know that this man was there with that woman and charged him triple the price for one person.
Yeah, but then you see her driving her brand new truck, you know, getting her house done and all this, and then cheating on her husband and everything. And it's like, it's, you know, it's really disheartening.
And now look at what she has now. She doesn't have a car. She doesn't have not one blessed
Wow.
vehicle. No. She and then had a nerve to sue me, but then her little roly-poly behind didn't even show up to court. Yeah, she sued me for trespassing because I came to her compound to get my stuff. Now you say that you're gonna let me stay at your home because after the robbery. I keep my stuff.
Yeah, I
there.
remember when you got robbed. I remember you were crying. You were like really shook up, but somebody set you up. I'm pretty sure you know someone set you up.
Yeah, they're being prosecuted.
Okay, good.
They're being prosecuted. So I just finished my testimony last time I was there. So unfortunately, Juliet decides, oh, I'm gonna she went and filed the papers once I started talking about her cheating on her husband. But you shouldn't have lied. What she does on her own time is fine. Is when she told her PR rep that is Gambian that I was having an affair and someone sent me the text message from WhatsApp in Juliet's own words. So, wow. And I'm like, but you talking this Pan-Africanism. Come back, her or Kathy, and y'all promoting side chick behavior. What the hell? And for me, I'm like, maybe I'm not a con artist. So what you see is what you get. You see me doing my damn hair in this live, right?
You doing your dancing, you doing your dancing, your workouts and stuff. And just
I gotta enjoy life because people are crazy, right? But
I know.
I don't have time.
That's what I say to myself. Like I take care of what I gotta take care of work. I take care of home. And I stay really close to myself and family. And and even my husband, when he goes out, he does it. I'm like, be careful. Don't let anybody pour anything for you. I'm in the house. I have my own wine, champagne. Like, I don't trust people. Like, I literally don't.
You can't. And then I think also with your background, because you're more connected, you like, oh, hell no. I'm not drinking. No, I'm bringing my own. I have my own water bottle with my wine in it. You know how we can get down, right?
And I sent him a text today because he's going out with friends. I said, listen, I sent him this text. I said, do not take drinks from anyone that brings it to you and you did not see it being open in front of you. And even if it's open in front of you, be wary of it. I said, if you bring something, bring it with you, sip it. If you walk away to go to the laboratory and you come back, throw it out. I said, because we're in the days now where everybody's smiling like, you can't trust anybody.
And it used to be like that back in the day when you used to go out and they tell you, hey, don't leave your drink, and it's now it's even worse. Like
exactly.
They drop fentanyl and everything. It's more sociopathic behavior because it's not just about, oh, I want to give you the date rape drug and this, that. No. It's like, oh no, I don't even want to do that to you. I just want to make you unalive.
Yeah.
Right?
To get what you have or rob you or do whatever they need to do to you because they don't have what you have. And they have a sick sociopathic mentality that they are going to be okay and they're going to get away with whatever they want to do. And whether they plan it or not, it's unfortunate, but I don't know what's going on in this. Well, I do know what's going on in this world right now. That's why I am mostly to myself. Like at work, I'm in school online and I do different things, but I really stay. And I was actually the opposite. Like I was always a people's person, this and that and third, but you know what? This is not the time. And seeing what has happened to even friends of mine, stuff that's happened to me, I chose to stay discreet and be infamous and just stay to myself and enjoy my own space and time. And I love my own space and time because I kid you not, when I'm off of this live, I'm turning on music, I'm typing, I'm writing, doing my own thing. And I'm happy to be right here. You know, like I don't need to be in big spaces around people because then my eyes have to be looking around the room everywhere.
Do you like you said, I see you be dancing. I go to the gym, but most of the time I'm doing my home workouts. I'm working from home. I I understand when they talk about the Bible says you are in this world, but you are not of this world. I
Yep,
totally get it. You
I get
know,
it too.
let me read some of these comments. So Des said,
Okay.
unfortunately, there's a disconnect. I look, it's like I'm talking to Magic Mountain. We Magic Mountain, Magic Midnight. What is Magic Mountain? I think everything is a mountain.
Magic Mountain, that's like something in Disney World. That's like a water ride in Magic Mountain. Yeah, it's a water ride. It's a water ride, but you know why I said magic like that? Because I had a dream one night, and literally, it's like I was so stressed out at the time, and it's like the Heavenly Father, he sent me like he put me on like this. I don't know. It's like I was sleeping, I was dreaming, and then I sat on this like type of cushiony type of chair, right, with no legs. And all of a sudden, I start moving through the universe, and I'm going up and down like this, and I see all these different types of. It's like I was on a roller coaster without being on one. I remember going through Niagara Falls. I remember going through Victoria Falls. I remember going through like literally through the universe at night in my sleep. Like it, just imagine being on, just levitating on something and just going through the beautiful things that you could never even imagine that God has put on this earth. And he showed me it. And I
Have
woke
you
up
ever been to
laughing.
Victoria Falls?
Never in my life. But I knew I was there because I saw it, because he took me there. He took me through the Grand Canyon. He took me through all of the magical, mystical places he took me to. And I woke up and I felt so happy. And I was like, it's like I got off a ride, because it's like it's like I stopped, but before I woke up, it's like the chair, no, the cushion I was on just stopped, and it's like, all right, you're off your ride. And I
I'm
said,
gonna
this
pray
is
for
how
that.
people.
I want
Yeah,
that. I'm gonna pray
that's
for that.
right. She told me that. She's like, I want to experience that. I'm telling you. And I was like, this is how they made Great Adventures. This is how they made these rides, because somebody had to have experienced it. This is where Aladdin comes from. But yeah, the Father, he allowed me to experience that.
Yeah,
And
because
my real name, I can tell you, it's Nigerian. It's Chinyere, and that means God's gift.
Chinyure.
Chinyere.
Chinyare.
Chinyere. Chinyere. It means God's
Chinyare.
gift. Yeah,
And
it
I
means God's
noticed
gift.
that
to people.
if I would have saw it, I would have knew that it was Nigerian, because I'm starting to see the Nigerian names, right?
Yeah.
I'm starting to see that. So yes, Purple Love. Some hearts and minds are wicked. Des said, unfortunately, there is a disconnect between continental Africans and Africans. I agree. But we should want to tap into different energies to understand true heritage. A lot of wordplay has been changed to confuse you. You hit the nail on the head. And if we don't do, me and my family, we okay, so you from New York, we call it building, right? So you and your family having conversations, we're building. And this is what we need to constantly do, because everyone is not at the same level energy wise. Mentally, we're not dealing on the same vibrations. Some of us are higher, some of us are lower. Some of us have to wait until this person and try to pull them up. But it's all about the village mentality and family. And this is what has been divided in our community, right? We act like the men are not there. First of all, the men were always there. Let's talk about the two Bobs and what they did with their women and continue to do with their women, right? So the family structure was based off of us, but then something happened with us, and we forgot who we were, who we are.
We could go back to. I can tell you about that as well, because what I started to watch the last couple of years is what happened in the early 70s and the 60s, right? So during Reconstruction and everything that happened, when they started with the welfare, they basically, and I remember this distinctively, they said that the man cannot be in the home, and the women were separated because the man. The African men, they couldn't get these jobs, and then they were getting laid off even though they got a job. A lot of them came back from doing service, and they turned into either drunkards, heroin addicts. They put out these drugs in our communities. I remember working at Burger King.
After military, they were messed up and they weren't getting the care that they were supposed to get.
But they were drugging them. They were putting the drugs in Harlem in the neighborhoods. Because I remember going to work and then leaving and seeing a whole park of just women and men just strung out on heroin. And they brought the crack into the community, so they dismantled that. They took the men out of the home, and then the woman
The
had to go to
women
work because she
food
couldn't do welfare.
stamps.
She couldn't be on welfare
Yep,
because the welfare wasn't paying anything, and the
yep.
kids are hungry. So they created all these problems, and they had everybody in the concrete jungle. Okay, in the winter time, they didn't turn on the heat, and in the summer they didn't turn on it. There was no AC, so
It
it
was
was
the
really bad.
project, so we were
Yes,
project. That's
yes,
what people don't realize.
yep. And I'm going to tell you something else, Tay Tay, that's going to blow your mind that I remember. And this is serious. So I remember in the summertime, there would be episodes where people would just be fighting. And I mean, fighting in every single neighborhood you could imagine during the summer, right?
Hmm.
So prior to the fight, guess what would come in the neighborhoods in Harlem?
Hmm.
There was a plane that would fly, right? I promise you, the Father is my witness. There was a plane that would fly and drop chemicals on people in Harlem. Because I remember walking and I was like, what is that on my skin going like this? And people's like, what is that? And it was a plane that was going around dropping all these. It was a white plane, like a little, the ones that they just drop. It goes from like here to Martha Vineyard. That
Like
type
a
of plane.
crop,
It was
like a
huge.
crop plane.
Yes, yes. And it kept dropping these chemicals would drop on everybody, and people be wiping their heads like, what's going on? I kid you not. This would happen when we're out playing around, let's say 12, 1 o'clock noon. By the night, everybody was fighting.
Wait, but hold on, sister. We know about the chemtrails, but I'm gonna tell you now. A lot of people didn't watch the live that I did when I first got back, where I talked about they cloned Tyrone. If I was able to watch this with y'all, this everything we're seeing, this is why that movie is so, I feel like it's so important in our community, because it's everything that you're saying that we see, and we see that it's affecting us. They clone Tyrone, y'all. If y'all haven't seen that on Netflix, this is everything that we're talking about right now. Right now. Let me see. So Des said, I read this in an article about them enslaving them all over again. Okay, so my internet want to trip. Okay, we know. But it got me frozen. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it had me frozen. You see YouTube,
Yeah,
like, what y'all talking about? But excuse me. So I did hear about that article about they're trying to get rid of the continental Africans in the UK. So I did hear about that. I don't know how true it is. What I would like to do is be able to talk to people that are over there. Right? When
Well,
they were saying,
I could fill you in. I could fill you in. Did you hear about the Gen Freed the towers?
What is it?
I believe it's called Gen Freed, or the let me see if I could pull it up. It's the towers that they had in the UK, and it was nothing but immigrants. It was West Indians, Africans. It was nothing but immigrants, and they burnt it down. And they burnt it down starting from the bottom up. They went to, it was systematically structured just so they could hold all of our people in there. So they knew when the time came to do what they need to do, genocide, they had the chance to do it. They locked the doors from the bottom, right? Locked the doors. It was a pipeline going all the way up from the bottom up. So they basically started the fire with the pipeline, and it triggered everything. And a lot of our people were killed in there. They were jumping out of windows. It was bad. The government wanted to. They said that it was an eyesore. Hold on. Let me Google it now. It was the towers in the UK. It's called the Gen Free Tower. Hold on.
Okay. What the hell is?
Yeah.
So Purple Love said that's what happened in the 60s and 70s. So women would.
I'm going to tell you exactly when it happened.
Oh, I think she's talking about the welfare and stuff. So women would think that they didn't need a man. That's
called the Grenfell Towers, right? This was in
Grenfell Towers.
Yep, it burned down in London. Okay, the Grenfell Towers is a derelict 24/7 story residential tower block in North Kingston in London, England. And it burned down on June 14, 2017. It burned. So many
Honestly,
people died, and it was of African descent, African Americans, people from the West Indies, the Caribbeans, Africa.
sister,
They
can you
they
type what it is in the thing in the
All right, so I'm gonna put it
in,
so you can pull it up. I'm gonna put it Grenfell
yeah,
Towers,
'cause I definitely want to look
burning.
at that
All right, so
myself.
that
Oh
you
my
can pull it
god.
up now. Okay,
Okay.
because let's go.
Wow.
You see, they're doing things to us all over this world, and we
Mhm.
don't know because we're not connected.
And we ain't talking about that. We want to talk about, oh, Bag doing this, da 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 da
There you
da
go.
da
There
da.
you go. That's
Right?
it right
These are
there.
things
Check
that
that out.
your qualitative research could follow, right?
There you go.
Not,
Check that out.
that's why when people call people a plant. That's why I don't. I mean, I don't want to give them that much credit, but something's not right.
And then
Okay.
there was another one where they assassinated a lot of West Indians. West Indians, they assassinated them in the UK too. They started a fire and they killed the students. That was years ago in the UK as well.
Okay. So let me do this. Okay. Grenfell. Okay. All right. So let me put this here. Oh my goodness. This is wow. Wow. So this is what it's called. Your Jennifer James. Let me just she asked me. Jennifer James said, "Not getting off subject. I guess I am. It's okay. This is this is town hall talk. We talk about a bunch of things. I guess I am. How do you keep your hair stretched out like that? So this is why I use these. Um, it just lays it down. Now I may get a little bit of shrinkage. I may get a little bit of shrinkage, but right now it's still a little damp. But yeah, that's why I use these clips here to just hold it down. But I think as your hair grows, it becomes more elongated. I don't know. Okay, so let me just go to these and then I'm going to pull that up. They also needed to change the color in the prisons. If you remember, the prisons were predominantly European. The gangsters were Al Capone, etc. The Italian, Irish, Polish, etc. became more accepted. Mm. Coming from slavery time, they always try to criminalize the black man, right? The African man that was
Yep.
born, right? They always try to criminalize the African man or the black man. And it's like, but most of the people were docile, like I said in another video. So when the hell did they become murderers, rapists, and all this other stuff? They weren't doing what the Tubas were doing to us. They weren't doing that. So when they try to have that rhetoric, oh, they're this, they're that. Look, I watch the ID channel. I watch
Me
True
too.
Crime, and let's keep it G. They could talk about African Americans killing each other, but two Bobs kill each other twice as much. So I don't know. 24 hours of murder, death, kill of them killing each other? No. But like I said, the rhetoric is always trying to be changed as to who we are, and it's not right. It's not right. This is why it's imperative for us to show each other in a positive light, right? Yes, sometimes you have to show negative light. That's the balance. But people, this is why I carry myself the way I carry myself. I'm not perfect. I will cuss you out in 2.5 seconds and think nothing about it. But I try to treat people the right way, and I try to be a role model, because guess what? Somebody, whether they African, Tubab, Latino, Asian, whatever, they're always watching us. What are they doing? What are they doing? And it's unfortunate that we are always in the spotlight, but we also need to know who we are. To whom
Yes.
much is given, much is required. We just need to remember what was given to us as our birthright.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see if I can pull this up. Let's remove this. And I want to share my screen. It's called Grenfell Tower. So
There you go.
let me pull this up. Oh, wait, before I pull that up, let me pull this up. That's what I need to do. I needed to
And I'm
finish.
going to put you on something else that happened in the UK. Is Notting Hill residents. They were assassinated and burned. It was a whole bunch of students that were West Indian, and they ran up in their homes and they killed them. And they burnt them in the UK.
Wait, I heard about that. The mother and the two children.
Yes. Yep.
I heard it was a two bob. It was a neighbor.
Yes.
I've heard about that.
Yes. And then the restaurant owner was from the Jamaica, and they were all jealous of him because he had so much. He had like a social spot, and they were making so much money. They had high income, and they went into races, and they started a fire. They kicked in the home. They did a lot of things, and a lot of these students, they got killed.
But people try to act like this stuff doesn't happen in the UK, but it
It's
does.
globally.
So
It's
let
globally.
me before I get into Grenfell Tower, I'm gonna read to you all the finalization of what started this video, right? Which was the teenager, the African boy that lived in the UK that was tormented by another Tubob Caucasian boy and their friends, and he was made to kiss the Caucasian boy's boot, right? So this is what it says. 3 more teenagers have been arrested. So at first, when I looked over this, it was saying that 1 teenager had been arrested. So it said that 3 more teenagers have been arrested over an alleged hate crime after a shocking video showed a black schoolboy being hit and forced to kiss the shoe of a white male. The video circulated online appears to show the pupil dressed in school uniform being pushed around by another boy who orders him to get on your knees and kiss my shoe, or you are getting whacked. I didn't hear him say you're getting whacked. Wow. And I think that means beat. The phrase kiss my shoe is repeated multiple times, with others behind the camera heard laughing as the schoolboy tries to resist. The schoolboy eventually bends down and is forced to kiss the muddy Wellington boot. I said it was a boot, right? Another clip that appears to have been filmed only moments later showed the same boy following the student up the street and punching him twice before an onlooker intervenes. 4 boys have now been arrested over the alleged hate crime attack, which is said to have happened in the Upper By area of Carlisle on Friday. It comes after 1 boy was arrested early yesterday on suspicion racially aggravated actual bodily harm. Wait, so the boy must have did something else? I can't. It says it comes after 1 boy was arrested early yesterday on suspicion racially aggravated actual bodily harm. So I don't know if this was against the black boy or these boys were just going around just attacking racial. Where the hell are their parents at? See, this is why I say, is this the onlooker? So you remember I told you all that an adult, you see, this person was walking towards when it all happened. I guess when they saw what happened, they turned around and walked away. They didn't want any parts of that. The schoolboy is ordered to get on his knees and kiss his boot. The 3 other boys, all said to be in their early teens, were later arrested on suspicion of abating racially aggravated actual bodily harm. So they must have arrested the first boy and then arrested everyone else. I'm not sure. Cumbria constabulary, I don't know what that is. I guess that's some UK stuff. Urged the public to not share the abhorrent images that had already been widely circulated on social media. Why not? So people could do these things and then keep it hidden. As of Saturday night, the video had been viewed almost 200,000 times. Social media user Olumo of Derby captioned the video. Racism in the UK is getting worse every day. A black child was racially abused and beaten up today at St. John. Oh, that's a different one. Are black people safe in Carlisle? Evidently, they're not. Well, I mean, why aren't the UK people talking about this? Maybe they are. We understand an incident that as this can be concerning for many, but we can reassure the community that this is an incident we are taking very seriously, and we have made 4 arrests. Okay, you made 4 arrests, but it was shown on TikTok that 60,000 racially charged incidents in school has happened in 5 years. So they're not doing anything. Our officers have worked through the night and continue to carry out investigations today. As the result, nothing would have happened if this video didn't come out. As a result of the incident, police patrols have been increased in Carlisle as a response to the community, concerns for the community. As arrests have been made, we will continue to urge people not to share the video. I'm going to share it. As a matter of fact, I decided to go ahead and make a live about it. Now, let's do Greenfield. Okay, let's do this. And then I'm going to let you all go because I said that I was going to be on here for 1 hour and I went ahead and snoozed my alarm, but I'm so happy that I got a chance to talk to you, sister. Let me just go ahead and share my screen because this is absolute insanity. I can't believe this.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me see. Hold on. Let me cancel this. Let me get to the screen first. The browser has blocked my screen. Why you block my screen? Okay, so let me see.
And also, you have to know about Sasha Johnson. She was basically an activist that was shot in the head in London, in Peckham, South London. That happened to her.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if she's still with us, but yeah, she was actually part of the Black Lives Matter movement, and someone shot her in the head. And this was in the UK in London.
And I believe it. I wholeheartedly believe it. Okay, so this is
Yeah.
on YouTube. Okay, so let me just get out of this. I'm gonna bring this up. Unfortunately, we are not safe.
Nowhere.
Not safe. We are not safe. And like I said, no matter what happens, I'm still gonna take my behind to Africa because I do know that me going to Africa is still better than some places here in America. Now, but by me being an American, I can come back and forth. It doesn't matter. I can come back and forth, but I need somewhere where I can feel safe, have my land, have my house, have my dogs, have my electric fence, because this world is not getting any better. It's not getting any better. So
No.
let me take this off and let me play this. So this is a Greenfell firefighter in tears as footage of tower played to inquiry. Now, I do want to say this. You said that the majority of the people there were of African descent
We said West Indian, African, and Muslims.
just like that fire that happened in New York, where all the Gambians passed away. But what
Yes,
people don't
that was in the Bronx.
yep. What people don't realize is, sister, a lot of people come to New York, right? Especially if you illegal, whatever, because you just gonna blend in. And if you in the hood, the police not gonna look for you. Now you go to the white people neighborhood, the police they're gonna catch you, right? Now, with that being said, New York is one of the most expensive places to live, family. Okay? The most expensive places to live. So think about it. You're coming from a third world country. You really don't have that much money. You're happy to be in America because you can work 25 million jobs, sleep for 2 hours, and do your thing, right? You could do whatever you want. You could make that money, right? Now, but with that being said, you also have to pay more bills. So if people think, oh, I'm gonna make all of this money and then I'm gonna be rich. No, you gotta pay bills because you pay more bills. So unfortunately, some continental Africans and people from Latin countries come to New York, and where are they living? Magic Midnight in the projects, right? So it's
in bad neighborhood.
Yep. Where she was talking about, Magic Midnight was talking about, okay, Stella, I'm about to get off and take you out to the bathroom. She like, hey, she said, where it is, she was talking about the heat, where it's not cut on or is so hot. They have the heat blasting in the projects. It's either too much heat or no heat. Like they don't know how to adjust the thermostat to
and in the winter, it's Brick City, you're freezing.
You're freezing.
There's no water. The water gets turned on and off, and then there's no hot water. So then you're on the news complaining that there's no hot water in the winter.
And you're scared to come out your home because if you're living in the projects like Bedford-Stuyvesant, right, where Jay-Z is from, Bed-Stuy, Marcy Projects. Sorry, I've been to Bed-Stuy, but when I went to Bed-Stuy, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I lived in Long Island. Okay, so that's not I wasn't a real New Yorker. Okay, I'm big up to the people that stay in the projects, but I'm not built for that. Okay?
Long Island, you're like in the grassy greeny. You're good. Like that is not That's not.
That's not the
Yeah,
hood
of
hood.
course.
That is not one
No,
of the boroughs, okay?
no.
So I was starstruck when I went to Bed-Stuy, right? And I'm like, why the hell are they bigging up this damn project? It's like you got it's like Africa. You got the big wall, the big concrete wall, right? They had a supermarket, they had a laundromat, they had a hair salon, they had a clothing store. Yo, they had everything within the walls of this, what we would say is a compound, but it's a high rise, right? You just look up, look up, look up, look up. I don't even know how many floors it is, but they had everything in there. And I'm like, why do they have everything? They was like, so that you don't have to leave this area. So they're trying to keep you in this concrete high-rise building with a bunch of people that are in poverty. What do you think is going to happen? Murder, 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 violence, violence, violence.
Yep.
It's a project. So this is for the continental Africans, right? That think, oh, it's perfect. And for the ones that are in New York that are not being honest. You ain't living in a fucking penthouse, my ninja. Okay? You're not living like Ghost in Power. I'm just saying. When are we gonna be honest? When are we gonna be honest? I'm living it up, taking pictures, but it's not. It's a facade. You are paying way more rent than I will ever pay in Arizona. So I know if you don't have an education, you're not getting a 6-figure income.
Absolutely not.
You're working at a fast food restaurant, and if you don't have any papers, you're making less money because they know you're illegal.
Yep.
But when are we gonna be honest, right? I'm in America. I'm flossing. I'm doing this. I'm like, as soon as you cut that phone off, you like, who gonna feed me?
Yep, it's a trick. Even my husband says it. He says it all the time to his friends. He says, this is a trick. It's a trap. Don't even fall for it. It's an illusion. He said, it's not what you see in the movies. And he already cut his family off that constantly was asking him for money. He cut them off. And when he got a better job, he said to me, don't tell them that I'm doing it. Like, don't. And I was like, wow, that's the first time. So I'm like, oh, now we connect. Because before you were being like the king of the castle. He's like, no. Don't tell them anything.
And you said he's Dominican Republic. So they're coming from a Latin, Latin country. But it's so funny that the Haitians want to kick the Dominican wanted to kick the Haitians off the island.
Yeah, but it's the same
island. Like, come on.
It's the same island. Yo sono africana, yo sono africana, yo dominicana, yo africana. It's like, what? Y'all the same. And I always tease him. I'm like, that's your cousin. But he's not like that. And his family's not like that. You know, praise the Heavenly Father. They're not like that. Because his father is like, I'm telling you, his father looks African. He looks like he's African. I'm talking about from a darker African complexion. His mother is like a whiter Dominican.
Dominicans.
Is a black Dominican.
Dominicans could be as chocolate as we are or even darker, right?
Yo no black, yo soy black, yo soy Dominicano. No, but his family, no, they're different. They're different. They're not like that. Yeah.
Because I have seen dark-skinned Dominicans, right? I have seen, living in New York and Jersey, we've seen a lot of dark-skinned Dominicans, and I don't know if some people do rep their African culture. We don't know if there has some Haitian in it, but but a lot of colorism as well.
A lot of them are colorists. I do have to say that they are.
Yeah. So true. Miriam said 5 to 10 people living in an apartment or maybe even more. That's correct. The sad part of what happened with the Gambians that passed away. And they were using
they were all living together in there. And you don't think that was a setup? Get them all in one spot so we could take them out effectively. Definitely. And then guess what? All of a sudden, the fire department didn't make it there within that time frame that they could have made it any other place. For some reason, they came a little bit later for these people.
And they didn't care because we know it's not true. But in America's eyes, it's like, oh, they're just poor African Gambians. They're just poor Gambians. It doesn't matter. And I did a video on it because I was like, but being an American, I understand how they were living. Yep. Everybody want to come to America, but they don't realize that America's about money. They don't care about your day. You want to let somebody come to your house and feed you? No, we don't let people in our home because we don't want to end up unalive.
Yep.
We don't pick people up on the side of the road because we don't want that to be our last ride. right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're not being honest about when they come to America. They're like, it's hard. It sure is. You
And they
can
said that was
separate
from a
peace.
space heater. They said, I remember it was from a space heater. Because guess what? Yeah, they put you in these places, but they're not giving you heat in the winter. And they're letting you burn in the summer. And they set you up strategically so when they come after you to light that match, nobody's getting out. Or you're going to be subjected to doing things to put your family in jeopardy because that space heater is what caused the fire.
Correct, correct. But see, this is why I say continental Africans, if you all connect with us,
We gonna
right?
put you onto the game.
Thank you. Instead
But they
of
don't want
judging
them
us,
to.
how
They
about
don't
you
want them
learn how
to.
we move? Because when we come there, Tay is finding out I'm moving how the Gambians move, how y'all move around in your country. But you come to America and you judge us, and then you
Yep.
go through horrible things when we could
Yep.
have helped you. Because we're
Yep.
not going to act like the two Bobs, the Lebanese and the Chinese. Unfortunately, we're going to open up the door and say, my sister, my brother, let me help you.
Yeah.
So get you an African American good friend. Not the bad ones, and we all not bad. Just like all continental Africans, we're not all bad. We're not either, my ninja. How about
I
you
did
judge
meet a
everyone
good friend.
accordingly?
I gotta tell you, I did meet a good friend from the Ivory Coast, and he took to me and my friends and me and my family, and he's good now because we put him onto everything. He got his own place, he got his, his own business, he got his car, he did everything, but he came close to us, and he didn't go associate with the Africans. He went the opposite way. And the brother's doing so good now. He's like, wow, he cooks for us. He'll bring us over meals at times. He's like, yo, you guys have my back. He went the opposite way. He didn't go based on what they told him at the embassy. He went the opposite way. He said, how can I turn up my nose to my own people?
And he was one of the people that were open to who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He know who he
Yep.
is. Now,
Yep.
the thing is I've seen continental Africans come here. They married a two-bob. Their first wife was a two-bob. Oh, she's horrible. She did this. And I'm looking like, I don't know what happened when you came across the water, because you were like this with your people that look like you. And then you came across the water. It's like, I put on my white suit. I'm white now. I'm a two-bob. What happened? Right? Because like you said, this brother is living a better life because of African. You think we don't know? We don't have the money that two Bobs have. I don't have the money. I'm not in people's pockets. I don't have the money that two Bobs have. So I need to know two Bobs are Caucasians. That's what Gambians.
Oh, I kind of figured that out. Yeah, all right.
So I don't have the money that Caucasians have, right? So I have to find ways to look good and live a good life on a budget. Now, most of the continental Africans are coming here on a budget. You better get you an African American friend. Yeah. And stop judging people that look like you, because the two Bobs and the Caucasians, they don't give two doodles about you. If Ish hit the fan, you will not be on their team. Okay. But you keep thinking you two Bob. Keep thinking that. So DS says you can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Thank you so much, DS. Purple Love says there are multiple generations living. There are multiple generations living, and it's easy to wipe out multiple generations. So sad. That is exactly what
they're doing. That's the trap. They're doing it all over to our people. And unless we connect, like a lot of information I've given you tonight, like you didn't know, and a lot of information you're giving me, I didn't know, but everybody needs to know because we're all the same people. So what they're doing to them in the UK, look what they're doing in New York. Look what they're doing in Africa. Look what they're doing all over the motherland. Look what they're doing.
Giving all these Latin people all this money.
Yeah, and they're giving them everything. I'm telling you, they're putting them up in the back. They're giving them homes.
And we can't get it.
They're giving them money. They put them ahead of everybody. Now they said everybody things have to be bilingual. So now I got to learn Spanish, which I know, how to say like the basics. I know a lot how to, if I listen, I know how to understand, but they speak slow. But I do know how to communicate. I would say I'm 40%. I'm in. I'm good. Just slow down, and I got it. And I can speak too. I can. I can. Yeah. But to sing songs, I can sing it from the beginning to the end. But that's how I learned, by singing songs in Spanish.
Because I do sing in Zumba. Don't know what the hell I'm saying. I know siempre. Always, right?
Yes, but if a song that captures you and you start to sing it, just after a while, you're gonna catch on. If you're in the presence of them speaking and talking, you're gonna catch on. Like you're gonna get it. So it's like, but I know
Well,
that's
we
gonna be
better
the number
learn
one
Spanish.
in New
We better
York. Yeah,
learn Spanish.
I have
Not
to
just in
anyway.
New York. I mean, here. I live in
My
Arizona.
nieces and nephews, they're Spanish. They're Spanish. They're Dominican. So
Yeah.
they some of them speak English, some of them don't. So I have to communicate with the ones that do, and
Yeah.
or the ones
Yeah.
that don't. And then also my husband's family, I have to be able to communicate with with them as well.
Because I'm gonna
They're
tell
from the old
you,
school.
if
That's
we
something
don't,
that I have to do. I have to do it. So sometimes in the morning, going to work on the train, I'm listening to Yo sé hablo que tú quieres. I'm listening. I'm like, okay.
oh, and I know what you said. Okay, so I'm not that bad.
No,
Look.
no, no,
I
no,
think
no.
I
You
think
said
I can get around in
siempre it's
Espanol
a song.
the way I can get away around with Wolof. I'm not fluent, but I know who is this, where is this, where we going, this, that, and the third. I know how to. Can I have some food, right? I
Sí,
need some
pero
water,
¿dónde
some
está?
cold water.
Dame come. Yo tengo hombre. Yo tengo hombre. Dame come. ¿Dónde
And I
está?
always get
¿Cuántos
it mixed
años
up.
quieres? Yeah, you gotta know
I'll
how
be
to
like,
let
"You
that
think I'm
tongue roll,
hombre?"
baby.
They be like, "You have a man?" I'm like, "Oh, I get the hombre and hombre mixed up." But
Yeah, no,
hombre
no,
is
no.
hungry. Hombre is a man. I'm like, "Yo, tengo hombre." They're like,
Da,
"Okay."
da, da. I need a man. No, I'm hungry. That is funny. Yeah, you're right. You are
Living in
right.
Miami is
Yeah.
a must. Living in Arizona is a must. And I'm telling you, if we don't be careful, shout out to the Latinos, right? But if we
Yeah.
don't be careful, this is why I'm going back to Africa because I'm gonna tell you, America is gonna be Mexico. All of
It
America is gonna
already
be
is.
Mexico.
Did you see
It
the
says
movie that
you cross
Obama
the
put
line.
together with Michelle? The movie that they came out with?
No, was it the movie about their life, about their love story? Because I didn't see it.
No. They came out with a movie. I saw it. Hold on. Let me try to Google it so you can see it because I saw it
Okay.
and this is what's happening now. Um, let's see.
Because we know if you call a corporation a business, press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish.
Yep.
So while you're
It
looking
is
that up, let me
called
just play
Leave the
this silly
World
video.
Behind. Please, it's on
Oh,
Netflix. It's called.
I did hear about that.
You know when
Oh,
the guy was like, he was begging, I'm sorry, Haki. It was a woman. She's like, oh, let go my daughter, si tú me dices que no te caes. So he slowed down the car and she's talking. He said, I'm sorry, what is going on? And you see these planes coming in, the ships coming in, and all these immigrants coming out of nowhere. She's like, no, no quiero, no, ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde está el tuyo? No quiero aquí. She started, and it was just, yo, that whole movie, Leave the World Behind, is guess what? What's happening now?
I'm going to see that. I might watch that tonight. Get me a glass of
It's on
wine.
Netflix. Watch it.
Leave the
Because
world behind. Leave the
yep,
world behind.
New York City is not the same, love. All you see is either you feel if you step out the house, you feel like you're in Africa or some parts, and then sometimes you feel like you're in Colombia, Venezuela, because you don't know
It's the melting pot, right? That's true though.
No, it's worse than the melting pot right now. It's either either or. So everybody that's doing deliveries right now, they're either from Venezuela or they're from Senegal. Like it's really you see the difference. They're taking over these streets. They're out there on their motorcycles. New York City is done. All these stores have closed down. New York City is exploding on itself, and it's sinking.
Well, it's too many people there anyway. I love
And it's
it.
sinking.
I
And it's
just
sinking.
I heard that.
It's sinking.
I
And I can tell you,
I'm a total tourist, right? When I come there, I love New York. I love New York, but I don't want to live there. It's only to visit and bounce.
but you
I'll
can't
be
even
in New
visit
York
now. I
soon.
tell you, there's nowhere to go. Nobody go. The movies are closed down. A lot of the movie theaters are closed down. A lot of the stores are closed down, so you can't even really shop anymore. A lot of these immigrants are out here. They are committing crimes. And let me tell you something. The majority of people that I know that used to go out, they are going out in their homes. So they're buying everything. They're
I
doing
couldn't
so
have a
nobody's
meetup.
going out anymore.
I can't have a travel with Tay meetup when I'm in New York this year. I can't.
You can have a meetup, but just do it early. Do it early in the daytime, like in the
I
afternoon from
I
like
don't go out
12
at
to
night.
like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I don't
You
go
could
out
do
at
the
night.
meetup because I'm definitely coming. But you could do it, but make sure it's early, like a brunch or something. We'll come through for the brunch. But after 5 and 6 and all that, they start coming out on their mopeds and they'll drive up to a restaurant and wait for people to come out and rob them. Yes.
And see, that's the thing in New York, you can't have concealed weapon, right? We have concealed
No,
weapons.
they
You
said the immigrants can because they have to protect themselves. That's what they said.
cut the crap, Magic Midnight. Cut the crap.
I'm telling you, that's what they said. They said the immigrants can because they have to protect themselves. Yes. And Mayor Adams just gave them credit cards. They're getting a stipend a month off of our tax dollars.
Oh
Make that
Lord.
make sense.
Okay, so oh my God, they were talking about that when the bridge came down. Oh, and let me play this video. Oh
Oh, do
my
you know
God.
another bridge came down in Houston? They out of power right now in Houston. Thousands, millions. They said a hurricane went through there and they crashed. A boat crashed into the bridge, and they're all out of the majority of Houston is out of lights. There's no lights, no power, no nothing. The grid is no lights.
In Houston, I gotta reach out to her. See,
Yeah,
this
they
is
just had a
and my
real
mother don't
hurricane,
tell me,
tornado,
hey, you
something.
know what's going. You serving as my big sister right now, or the way my mom do. Like, yeah, so you heard about this? I'm like, no. She's like, girl, you live in your own little bubble.
Yeah, right now. They had a tornado and then they said that something crashed and no lights. No lights. Google it when we get off. No lights, Houston.
Jesus.
Done.
Wow. So let me play this real quick. Let's see what's going on with this.
My first recollection when I dismounted the appliance is that I walked around from where we were positioned on the Grenfell Walk to the east side, and I glanced up to the east elevation of Grenfell Tower, and around the fourth floor level, I could see an orange glow at a window of a compartment at the fourth floor level.
I'm going to show you the video again, Mr.
This is Greenfield Tower, y'all.
Are you all right to see that again?
That's going they need to get up there. Fair enough. All blocks one.
Wow. I think
we stop. Okay. Now we can go over it again. You can see what's happening with the fire.
Are you okay?
Take a break, please.
Yes,
of course.
Yes, of course.
5 minutes? Yeah. All right. We'll resume at 20 past.
Maybe Mr. Dutton wants a little longer.
Well, would you like longer than 5 minutes, Mr. Dutton?
10, please.
10. Yes, of course. So that's what we'll do. We'll resume at 25 past.
Well, it's towering inferno, isn't it?
How is that possible?
It's jumped up all the way along the flat slope. How was that?
It was like nothing I've ever seen. It went so quickly from a tiny fire on the outside and fizzed up, down, sideways. It looked like someone had poured petrol down the side of the building.
"71 people died in the Grenfell fire. This firefighter tells..."
That was a lie. It was way more than 71 people. It was thousands that died. They lied. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Over 71 people died, and they set that up. And because the aristocrats they said that that was an eyesore, that those towers were an eyesore, and they wanted like a different skyline. So they set that up. And look at the fire that started that late at night, and they had the doors chained down so people couldn't get out. People were jumping out of windows. Did you hear the babies crying, screaming?
So who locked the doors? Who put
What
the
do you think?
I can't. I cannot. I can't. And they're sitting here crying and being all emotional.
Do you see any tears? You just hear, "Whoo." You see their faces and they're talking, but there's no tears coming from these ice monsters. These demonic ice monsters that constantly attack our people globally. They're ice monsters.
Yeah, and I call them powdered guests.
Okay.
So Jennifer James said in Houston, Texas. So we're gonna, when we get off of here, we're gonna Google what has happened in Houston, Texas. There was you said a boat hit a
There was a
bridge.
hurricane, and then
A
there was a
hurricane.
boat. They said that somehow crashed into a bridge. But you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to lock down the chain of the food supply. They've already dismantled. They already killed so many cows and chickens and stuff like that. Farmlands. They've already told these farmers to not produce. They've already poisoned the earth. They're doing so many things, and now they're preventing food from coming into locations. They got Baltimore for it first. Now they just got Texas, Houston, and they said that a tornado came through.
Oh my
A
God.
tornado, and now they said that half of Houston is out of power. So
Oh
people
my
now, as
God.
presently speak, Tay are in the dark. So you
Oh
know
my
what's next, right?
Oh my God. You know, as you were talking, you like this port, they got Texas. You know, when you really start thinking about shipping and all this, that makes a huge difference.
How are they going to
You
get
know,
any food and stuff coming in and out? And also, I had like a premonition. I was actually up at work one day. I was up, wide awake, and I just went into a trance. And I heard people when they said they would go into a trance, and I was like, how is that possible when you're still awake? But I was in a trance, and I saw New York City go under. And I saw all the water everywhere. And I was just like, and I saw my husband, and all I kept hearing was like the water. And I told him, I said, we got to get out of here because something is going to happen here, and I already saw it.
sister, oh my God, I got goosebumps. I can't thank you enough for coming on because evidently, you know, we have a lot of things in common. So one of the things with Hurricane Katrina, I kept having these visions, right? I have the gift of discerning. Comes to me just before in between consciousness and me going to sleep. And I was working 12-hour shifts at this time, right? So I'll come home and I don't know how many days. They only let you work 3 days. I don't know if it was day 3, but I was like, I don't know what's going on. But day 3, and then I had 2 or 3 days off. I was like, okay, let me cut the TV on. I remember sitting on my bed. Now, the dream that I kept having was, I used to live in this high rise. You're going to see when last time I was in Jersey, I took a picture of it. And I lived on the 13th floor, right? So I could see out in the ocean. We was in Asbury Park, so that was on the beach. I could see the ocean. I could see way to Long Branch. I had a telescope. I used to look at the stars, but if I wanted, I could probably look at somebody's apartment, right? On 13th floor. Now, I'm just saying. So I used to look at the boats, the cruise boats, and try to look at the boat, get up close because I had a telescope. Now, I kept having this dream or this premonition of I'm coming out on a balcony. I'm looking out on the balcony and I see nothing but chaos, right? Fire, water, just chaos. And I'm trying to, thank you. I was trying to call 911. That's when like, it's like consciously, it's like unconsciously I'm dreaming. But then when I can't dial 911, that's when I kind of wake myself up because I'm like, this is a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake your ass up. Right? And I wake up. Now, what I did not know, I sat there, I cut the TV on. I'm like, Hurricane Katrina was on every channel. I'm like, what the hell happened? I've been working. I don't know what's going on. Now, when I'm looking at these videos and these pictures, it's exactly what I saw in my dream. And I kept telling my family, look, civilization as we know it, something's going to happen. Something's going to, before COVID. That's why I was in a hurry to get out of America. I knew something was going to, I felt it. I just didn't know what, right? Now, that's why I say with what you're saying is true. If you keep having these, New York is not the place to be.
No.
It's not the place to be. You know, people come to New York. Okay. Most continental Africans, they come to New York. Fine. But then they start going to other states, right? Because New York is too expensive. It's too much crime. They got crooked police officers. We could say that about a lot of states, but New York is like California, like LA. Those are one of the places they say, where do you live? Where are you from? I said, New Jersey. Oh, New York. I said, no, I said New Jersey, right?
Mhm.
So New York is known. Of course it's where all the money is. It's where all the celebrities are, you know, but it's too many people there. And we saw with, what was that hurricane? Was it Sandy?
Hurricane Sandy. Oh yeah, I remember that. Everything was out of commission.
Right?
Everything was out of commission. But what I can tell you is that Hurricane Katrina, let me go back into history. The original Indian that they want to say is that looks Oriental. They're not the Indians from the indigenous from America. The Indians that are originally from America are black, of dark skin with really wavy hair. And guess what? They shipped them and moved them to so many places when they colonized. Most of those places was New Orleans. It was Florida. It was all these places. I remember back in the day seeing the original Indians, because I had friends. I had one of my best friends. She had that. She was very dark and her hair was really, really curly. And her mother had
too. My grandmother.
Yes, and I ran into, and actually he was older, but of Indian descent, and was black. And I ran into this man one day at night, and he was just sitting there looking at me, and I'm like, wow, you know, this is the original people of this place. So when they say, oh, they got everybody from Africa, that is a lie. People were already here, and they
we were travelers. They were navigators.
Exactly.
Come on.
So
man.
what I'm saying to you is that New Orleans, they had they would have these Mardi Gras and their themes every year. And I looked into this like 2 years ago. I stumbled on it online. They would do their beading. They had their customs. They had the powwows and everything. And that was in New Orleans. So what is the best place to go to dismantle those generations that could have passed down things to the younger generations? They wanted to dismantle it because they kept passing it down. And every year when they had the Mardi Gras and the powwow, they came out on the streets. They had their languages. They showed the chief. The chief came out with the chiefess, and they came out and they had their dialects, and you could hear some of them still have the same language. But you know, they always want to attack the older generations so that they're not able to teach the younger generation. They can cut you off through the bloodline. So that's what they did with Hurricane Katrina, because they're like, no, this is and then the internet came out, and then boom, you see George Bush in a plane overseeing everything they did. So now the people are exploding on each other inside of the dome in this place, and all these barbaric things are happening. And then they can have more access to commit genocide, because now you have the people in a vulnerable state, and you're telling them you're coming to rescue them. And when you see the Red Cross, you know they're coming to kill them.
Jesus. Wow. I mean, because Bush, they say he was flying across with his damn dog. I'm like,
that's when Kanye West came on MTV and said Bush was not like
black people. That shit was funny as hell. The dude standing beside was like, that was so
funny. He was trying to let it out right now. Like, this was the setup. And who they went after? They wanted to wipe out these generations. Because these generations, they had property, they had language, they had their information, they had the things that they were passing down culturally. And when I watched it online, please do this, Tay. Look into this. Go into New Orleans prior to Hurricane Katrina and look at the Indians that are there. They're all black, and they're beautiful, and they're caramel, and they got beautiful hair, and they got those are the original people from the Americas. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that went through the Trail of Tears. Mm-hmm. Those were a lot of even our ancestors. How did my family get in Barbados? They came out of Africa. And they said that they sent the ones that were like barbaric, like the Africans that was fighters. They sent them to the West Indian Islands. They said, you're gonna burn in that heat. And I know I was one of them. That's why I know my family's out there. They got to Barbados because the colonizers, when they went to tarnish and grab the people from Africa, the ones that was fighters, they would send them to Jamaica. They'll send them to Barbados. They'll send them to places and put them out.
Brazil got the biggest, largest slave population went to Brazil.
Yeah.
Yo, that's the only reason why I want to visit Brazil.
And they waited. Brazil was the last of the the last place that, wanted that demolished it, but they didn't, but they played the trickery with the colorism. And they brought in the Spaniards to try to like wipe out.
Lighten them up.
Yeah, and another thing too, in these West Indian islands, what they have, they have all these propagandas, their movies, their commotion. They use their media and they use their marketing to keep them on the whites on top and keep the blacks on the bottom. They do this through cartoons. They do it through their marketing schemes. They do it through their billboards. They do it through their movies, just to keep
selling a damn cheeseburger. They do it with all of us. You're right. You are absolutely right. Oh my goodness. Wow. So Des said that the tornado was probably created
by heart. I was going to say that next. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Y'all know what
that
is.
That's how they did Hurricane Katrina. It was hard. And on top of that, they bust the levees. They broke the levees. They had bombs going off. They blew up the levees so that the water could come up and drown and kill the people.
And they knew most of the people that were there. Most of the people that were
they came in and swarmed it after that and stole their properties and said they couldn't come back. Mm-hmm. Look what they did in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Hawaii, you don't like black people? Look what they did to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And people don't realize that they're like, oh, I don't, they love our music. They love our culture. They love our men, but they don't want to be us.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, that's fine. But don't think that if you're not Caucasian, don't think that you have made it to go to their galas, right? No cookout, right? To their galas. Don't think that, but they do. Oh, the Mexicans. I'm gonna dye my hair blonde. I'm gonna try to talk like them. They know that if they the dogs, they know that your ass is a cat.
Yep.
No matter how much you try to dress yourself up. That's why us as African people are born all around the world. We need to continue to encourage each other, to love each other, to be who we are, to continue to have conversations like this. I didn't learn so much from this sister, right? in a couple hours that we've been on here. This is why it's so imperative that we still come together, fight against what we have been taught about other people. Don't believe that SHIT, right? And I'm talking to continental Africans, African Americans. If you are of African descent, no matter where you live on this planet, I am speaking to you. Continue to fight against the colonization of what they are trying to do with our minds. Whether people believe in Willie Lynch syndrome or not, we know that we're seeing the remnants. Remove yourself, whatever you want to watch, right? But just be mindful that they're trying to program you. And everyone is not strong enough to look at the housewives shows and not behave like that, right? Because they're trying to perpetrate, how can I say this? They're trying to stereotype us and make us all look like we are the same. We're not. I'm from Jersey. When I tell people, Jersey Shore. No, that I don't know who the hell those people are. Okay. Just like these people that are on these housewife shows, the Black Ink, whatever, all these stupid ass shows that show us in a horrible light. That's not how the majority of us behave. But what are they doing? They're trying to make people believe that that's who we are, just like they tried to do that with continental Africans. So I love you all. Magic Midnight, I appreciate you. I will be in New York very soon. Okay, it ain't gonna be very soon. It's gonna be at the end of this year. But I do want to have like a meetup. I do want to do that. And
I will definitely be there.
Yes, I can meet y'all in person. We could chit chat, and I'll teach y'all some Zumba. She be like, "Girl, we ain't trying to dance." Be like, "We had rice and French fries. We got to work this all." No, I'm joking. I'm
a dancer. I've been dancing forever, so I'm good with that.
Right? We African. Most of us like to dance anyway.
You got the right one. I can get it in. I can get it in.
Some of us are just we are self-conscious about what someone else thinks about us, and I feel like we just need to let that go. Just be you. Just be you, right? If the parents would have taught this little young African boy who he is, he would have never, he probably would have lumped that boy up. He probably would have got beat up by every last one of them, but he would never have kissed that boy's shoe.
Never.
Right? So please continue to instill in your children, people in your family, your friends, your loved ones, and people on the street. Right? If you see someone, hello, lovely, hello, goddess, hello, queen. Right? Let's continue to instill and encourage each other. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, you all. I love you all. I'm gonna finish doing my hair, but I'm in the middle.
You almost there. You almost there because I do my own too, baby. I do my own too. That's right.
Let nobody touch this hair. Until
no,
next
not
time,
on
you
crown.
all. Be blessed. Not like that.
Bye.
Bye-bye.